What up, Nine?
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Fuck being rational. Give them what they ask for.
Who do you think you are? I'm the word. Boy, man, I'm the one who put in the work.
When I move, is it a quick rumble? I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We about to get into it. But do me a favor, hit that like, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe. It's free to you, but it means the world. But let me get into the chat. Let me get into it. That Phoenix Fireside. What up, though, Dolly? Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you. Bud Files, what it do with the businesses, man? I hope the family good. I hope they great. Sports Chat, my 33 brother. What up, man? This is 33 himself. That's my bro, man. I'm happy to hear you. I forgot you was in Georgia. When I start saying, I'm like, oh, I think he in Georgia. What up, though, y'all? Hey, man, this is shout out to everybody who voted on the poll, man. Y'all don't forget, man. Check out the post. You know, we be having polls sometime. I'm trying to do that once a week where, I'm gonna have come up with two shows and I'm gonna let y'all pick and see which one we do first. You know. So yeah. So tonight we're gonna talk about it's not the nice guy that changed lives, but it's the naive ones, right? We're gonna talk about that tonight. We're gonna talk about that tonight. But shout out to everybody who participated in the polls, man. I really appreciate the feedback. Um, I gotta try to be more interactive so y'all can be more interactive, right? Without me having acting on the channel, how y'all gonna have action, right? So I gotta be more active. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, man. We want to be more interactive. We're a community. We're a tribe. We're a village of people, man. This is somewhere, everywhere within the nine. You come, relax, and be yourself. Similar to Planet Fitness, the same as a judgment-free zone. As long as you don't judge, we don't judge, right? That's how we rock out. But yeah, this is something I want to talk about. It's not the nice guys, and that can be women too. But the phrase is nice guys finish last, right? And that's wrong because um, it's really not the fact that people are being nice. It's more the fact people are being naive because when you get taken advantage of, that's basically what it sums up to. The nice guy finished last because he always putting other people first. For you to be a nice person, you gotta first be nice to yourself, right? And once you learn how to be nice to yourself, that's a standard you create. So you won't allow no one else to be not nice to you, right? So it's not the nice people. Nice don't mean stupid, right? Nice don't equate to stupidity. That's not what it sums up to. Being nice don't mean being stupid. It don't mean being naive, but being naive means being stupid. Right? Being stupid, that's what naive means. So when we even look at that situation, majority of the time, it's the naive ones. Commander, what it do with the business is the lady at the nine. is in the building. The Minister General of Defense. What up, though? Appreciate you. Second in command. Should be running the show. The host with the most. You know. Uh, but yeah, that's who finished last. Is the naive. We did a couple shows, right? When we was looking into the ideology of Machiavelli, with some of his teachings within his book. And one of those teachings was kindness without strategy is a trap, right? It's a trap. Being kind without a strategy, like when you hear that, you looking at being kind and then you looking at strategy. Like how does those associate? Very easily, right? Because actually you need some type of think about it like this. We have all these different aspects of us, like kind, nice, generous, compassionate, empathetic. We got all these different great attributes about ourselves, right? And we just leave it turned on all the time because we think that's how it's supposed to be. And it's not. Just like a water bottle. I mean, it's great to have water, but you don't need it all the time. But when you need it, it's good to turn the bottle on and indulge in what you have. That's how you have to be. That's why the strategy aspect is important because being kind to the wrong people, you get taken advantage of. And after that happens so much, you develop a belief like this is how people are because this keeps happening to me. So why would you think anything different? If you get multiple people doing the same thing to you and you getting the same results, why wouldn't you develop a belief saying like, shit, being nice to everybody, it don't, and because the negative always seems heavier than the positive, we we discount the nice people being nice to, and we only focus on the negative people because it feels heavier, right? Because that's more when we deal with those people, those emotions are not enjoyable, so they're more impactful. So that's why we associate it because we had that nice valve turned on to it's constantly turned on. But see, everybody doesn't deserve. Not only do people not deserve, some people don't even know how to receive your kindness, how to receive you being nice to them. So what are you getting out of it? Well, if I keep being nice to this person, eventually they'll learn. Look, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, right? If that person means a lot to you, honestly. But you doing that to everybody, you go get burnt. You go get burnt. Some people may deserve it, but don't know how to receive it. Maybe it's a family member, a son, a daughter, a brother, a sister. Someone is good in them. They just been through some shit, but this person. You have a vested interest. Yeah, it's cool to go above and beyond. But when you just going above and beyond for everybody, that's when people get burnt. That's when people get burnt. And a lot of times people become bitter of life like that because they think this is all it is. When all in actuality, you was just being nice to the wrong people. And you create a behavior and then you have a perception and you focused on that, you start missing all the good things coming in. This is what happens with attention, man. When you focus on one thing, when you trying to prevent one thing from happening consistently, you paranoid, what happens is it'd be a lot of good shit to bypass you. A lot of great experiences, good people, things, life changing shit. It'll vibe right past you because you so focused on not trying to get hurt. You ain't living. It's cool to be aware and cool to be prepared, but living in that state of anxiety of being paranoid, living in those states, man, it bypass you right up. Rach Riders, what it do with the businesses? Appreciate you now. Rach Boo. Rach Boo. Let me drop the link. My bad. I meant to Ben drop the link. But no, it's not the nice people that finish last. The saying is nice guys finish last, but We're gonna equate it to all people. It's not the nice people. It's the naive. It's the ones who, like I said, you got it turned on all the time. With your kindness, you have to have a strategy. Who gets it? Who don't? Why do people get it? And why don't they get it? Let people earn shit in life, right? That's one of the major factors we missing out of this society today. This is my opinion. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm saying this is my opinion. One of the major aspects that we missing in society today is everybody fucking feel entitled. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss like that. It's just annoying. Like I don't like entitlement. Like you just supposed to have something because you breathe. No, it was we take pride in putting in work, developing ourselves. We knew we was forged through the fire. We knew how hard it was to become something, and that's what made us appreciate it more. People don't do that no more. People want to be given titles, participation trophies, and shit. Excuse me again. But yeah, participation trophy. I'm straight. I don't do all that. Life ain't just hard for me. It's hard for you. It's hard for everybody who breathing. That's just what it is. It ain't supposed to be easy. Life ain't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. Life ain't hard. How do you get harder? How do you become better? If you never have adversity, everything can just be stagnant without hardship. That's what evolves us. That's what evolves our way of thinking. That's what makes us creative. We become uh, more intuitive. That's what elevates us. The struggle, the pain, those things exist for a reason. It's not about getting rid of them. It's about understanding them and utilizing them. Adversity is an opportunity. That's all it is. Adversity is an opportunity. I ain't messing with you, Gary. That's all adversity is, man. It's an opportunity. And just like, understanding these concepts, they tools, right? Because yeah, it feels good to be nice. It feels good to help people. Just make sure you're helping the right people. Because when you're helping the wrong people, you actually neglecting the right people. Think about it like that. The more time you spend with the wrong people, the less time you have with the right people. That's just reality, right? That's literally reality. You're so focused on helping someone who can't be helped or don't want to be helped, but the person screaming for help is the one who's really suffering. That's what happens often. The ones that really want it, and those be the people who you help that go on to help more people than the people they help more people. That's how you build. But we focused on that's like when we talk we need to get together. No, what about the people who already got together ready to go? Everybody ain't ready. Everybody ain't worthy. Everybody ain't coming. People who can't get the shit straight, you know, it ain't gonna work for them. People will find reasons not to get the shit together. People find reasons. I'm about to prove my point right here. People separate themselves through race, religion, political beliefs, whatever. They find more reasons to separate themselves. They call it identifying themselves. Nah, look, because when you go to work, you work with a lot of different races and religions, and y'all all there to get a job done. Y'all get the job done. Y'all get paid. Y'all go home. That's how we have to build with one another. People be trying to get too and people personalize and shit. Like, nah, man, if we building something that benefits all of us, let's come together, let's work together, let's focus on that aspect of it. No matter what race, what belief, what color you are, you do it every day, but you do it for other people's benefit. You help build companies and corporations. You don't build shit for yourself like that, and you can. Selena, 3 times. What up, though, Selena? Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you. 3 times. Man, y'all can drop y'all links too. Somebody drop Phoenix link in there. Y'all can definitely drop y'all links in the chat. Feel free. We chilling till the panel is open. But yeah, it's not the nice guys, it's not the nice girls that finish last. It's the naive because being nice does not equal being stupid, right? And sometimes we just got to be honest with ourselves. We make mistakes, right? Sometimes we deal with the wrong people. So don't even blame them. I don't even blame people for being themselves no more. I can't blame ignorant person for being ignorant. That's just who they are. I have to take accountability. Okay, look, I chose to indulge with this person. I chose to interact with this person like this. I let this person get too close. When I start doing that, I promise you, when I start doing that, no matter what a person did to me, I took accountability for even dealing with them. I didn't make it about them. Okay, they was just that's just who they are. That just doesn't matter if it is me, you, another person. That's just what they do, right? I seen them do it to somebody else. I thought, oh, they'll never do it to me, and then they did it to me. Okay, consistent behavior, right? That's their nature. That's just who they are. So why get upset at them? I need to take accountability. I need to make better decisions, better choices. I need to value myself better. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of stuff I say, it sounds like I'm an asshole, I'm conceited. But I tell you this, it's not about being better than people, right? It's really not. I don't think nobody better than nobody because of status or nothing. What makes people better is when they do better. And the value in a person, for me, when I say that, for me, not what they obtain on the outside, but what they get on the inside. It's their character. That's the value of a person. I don't care if they broke. I don't care if they rich. It's the person's character, right? That's what's valuable. So when I say people do better, they do better to others. Not doing better, or they got a bigger house, a bigger car, all that material stuff. Look, when you didn't go, it don't matter. Go to somebody else, right? You can't take it with you, bro. Like people spend all this time trying to get rich, trying to get a handbag, get shoes, get all this shit when you die. Then what you got? What did you have to do to get to that shit though? You did it the right way, then fine. But what if you did it the wrong way? What if you was unscrupulous when you was doing it? Now you gotta lie living with that. Like, we ain't even gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about that. You ain't get you know a bad situation. Thought about people if you not paying attention. And see, that's the thing. That's the thing right there. You know, being naive. What people don't understand is like it's being unaware, being uneducated, or lack of wisdom. Literally definition. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what it equates to. Basically, not having the right information to make the best decisions. That's what naive. That's what naive. So when it comes to being nice to people, you know, like when we look into Machiavelli teaching, when he said kindness without strategy is a trap. That's some real shit. You being kind without a strategy, people will entrap you. We talked about emotional manipulation. That's one of the ways they entrap you. When you naive, oh, this person wouldn't do that to me. This person ain't like that. I only know what people show, and that's what I go with. Well, what people tell me, I don't really care too much about. I listen to what people say to um, compare and contrast to what they do. That's I'm being like, this is just the way I'm programmed, right? That's just the way I'm programmed. Like I only listen to people because I read action. Like I'm more interested in what people do in certain situations, certain circumstances. That tells me everything about a person. You know, would you sell out for money? Would you sell? And when I say sell out, would you go against what you believe for money? Would you go against what you believe for friendship, for people's admiration? Would you go against what you believe for, for status, for material? Would you do that? And that tells me who you are. You can be bought or sold using different vices, right? Different things can buy you or sell you, get you to go against what you believe. That tells me whether, I mean, to me, people like that, I grew up with people like that. You know, growing up in the hood, A lot of times that happens. People ain't have love in the home, right? They found the love in the street. Ain't that what happened a lot in the hood? They don't have that father figure. The mother ain't loving. The mother ain't there. So they outside in this gang or this group, don't make them feel like family, make them feel love. So they get into that story is so common. So it ain't even the money; it's the affection, the admiration. I think a lot of good kids turn bad doing that. Raven, what up, though? What up, though, Raven? Appreciate you. I don't bite. Only on the weekend. Only bite on weekend. Roger, Roger. Go home, Roger. That's like a quote. I'm always saying that. Big Mix, what up, though, fam? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to Big Mix in the building. Roger, go home. Every time I see Roger, I always say that. That was my jump back in the day, sister. But uh Mella, what up though, Mella? What up though, sis? I had to my own brother Rip. See, you see what I'm saying? So it's different things that draw people, it's different things that but being naive, it can put you in a bad situation. Why? Because those are some of those things are what we desire. We have a deep desire to be loved. We have a deep desire to be appreciated. Sometimes just to be noticed, to be acknowledged, to feel that we are aware. People have deep admiration, and some people they've been poor their whole life. They never had nice things. That can entice a person. And desires is nothing wrong with desire, right? But what I'm telling you is when you have desire, you can be very naive and people will take advantage of it. People will take advantage of that. People might have a desire to be in a relationship, right? And I've seen this, in men and women. A person has a deep desire and another person, they know that. And they use it against them. They use it against them. Dolly, that's you? Yep, that's you. I see you moving.
I'm moving. It's
Hey,
me.
Dolly, what up, Dolly Mello? What up, sis?
Hi.
Yeah, everybody. Dolly,
Hi.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. I was compelled, well, when he talked about the hood, um, I don't want to say I resent my family for not, transferring my brother away from the influences, but they really could have done that, right? I think if he was, if they considered him, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, it's like you got a 9-year-old boy that gets knocked off his bike, right? Like straight up punched, like our father, who was around periodically. He gifted us with new bicycles, and everybody in the neighborhood, they teach their peers how to ride a bike. So we learned how to ride a bike, our brand new bikes, and it wasn't a big deal until one day my brother came back, you know, crying up the porch. The women in my family laughed at him. They laughed.
Mm,
They was like, "You couldn't fight him off?" Ha ha ha. I witnessed that bullshit, right?
mm,
Perspective. And what I'm saying is that's when he knew he couldn't depend on his family to protect him. Because, our father, he was in and out of our lives. He was more like, when I see you, I'm gonna make it up to you type of man. And so, I mean, there goes that protection, right? He wasn't gonna hear about it because when he heard about it weeks later, he tried to find out who did it. But we talking weeks later. In the meantime, that immediate impact of, your primary caregivers, you know, just basically humiliating your pain. And
Yeah.
so what happens? This man, who is my brother, God rest his soul, as the history I can recall, it's not like he sat down and wrote his memoirs or anything. I had to go back in history. Like, what were the patterns that I remember? And what I do remember is that eventually he stole my mother's VCR. We were like, very puzzled. Like, we were home. Nobody broke in. Like, who the hell stole our VCR? As it turns out, he stole it. And what I was able to put together was that after his bike was stolen, maybe he was about 10 years old. After the bike was after he was punched off, and what I've heard from different people throughout the years is that what happens is your peers tell you, if you want to make sure that you are protected, you join this gang, right? Like, man, if you was with us, that would have never happened. That would have never
Mm-hmm.
happened if you was with us. And so then you start hanging out with them, and then they show you love, and they show you love. But guess what? That love comes at a cost. Eventually, they're going to
Yes.
make you
Yep.
demonstrate loyalty to them, and it will
Yeah.
be in the form of you got to steal something, you got to rob somebody, and it progresses from there. Next thing you know, you own drugs. Next thing you know, you selling drugs, all types of fucked
Yeah.
up shit, and you just get caught up in the game.
I
That's how
love
it happens.
I love that you just brought up the transition of love and then
They
how
should
you
have
have.
relocated that
Yeah.
child as
Yeah.
soon as he was attacked in our neighborhood. They should have relocated him. And I know for a fact my family could afford to move at that time. They just didn't take his vulnerability seriously because he was a black boy. And allegedly, we are programmed to think black boys are animals. We are and I'm being explicit.
We
We are
have to
programmed
be savage.
to we're programmed to believe that black boys are aggressive, they're not vulnerable, just all types of crap, as opposed to understanding this is a child that deserves a clean slate in life. That
Can I
that
just tell you
it's
from my
sickening. It's
perspective,
sickening.
what
Go ahead.
coming from even I understand that you're saying that from that you're saying black boys are animals. I grew up thinking that just boys, period, were animals. Like I
I don't
never
believe that because
I
I
know,
mean,
I'm just telling you from
I
my
don't believe that.
perspective.
This is the programming through media.
No, I'm just telling you from my perspective, like my childhood, like boys were just nasty little boys. Like boys
I'm not
were.
even talking about that snips and snails and puppy dog tails. That's what little
Yeah,
boys
yeah,
are made of. I'm not
yep.
talking about that. What I'm talking about are media influences that that would otherwise influence people to think that black boys are going to be able to care for themselves, as opposed to the nurturing required for any other everyday child. Like there are men who have abandoned their boys, thinking he'll
Yeah,
be all right. I made it. He'll be all right.
yeah,
And women,
yeah.
oh, he just like
Understood.
his daddy. He probably
Understood.
ain't gonna be no good too. I'm talking about the
Understood.
propaganda that has
Understood.
destroyed so many. That's
It's
what
a
I'm talking
huge
about.
misconception. That's a huge misconception. You're absolutely right.
And since we going to snips and snails and puppy dog tails, we know Walt Disney didn't present Prince Charming as a brother. Okay,
Yeah.
so
No, I hear
so
you there. I
Prince
hear you
Charming
there.
was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy, and we always gave them the benefit of the doubt through media influence. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Um,
I would
and
say
I
this
can tell
too.
you that they aren't.
Growing up in a little small town where it was just, mixed races. We had some of everybody. It's like this is not. I understand what you talk about media, but I'm talking about like everyday thing. I just think the way, especially back in like the 80s and 90s, the way boys was raised, where we had to be hard, we couldn't cry. It was like we were almost programmed to be fucking savages. It was okay to fight.
because
Like
Yeah.
no one was
you was encouraged to fight.
no one was
And
considered. Had it been anybody else, there would have been considerations. It could be something as simple as taking out the garbage. You don't make a child take out the garbage, like late at night, in a dangerous neighborhood. Anything could happen out there, you know. Um, Hell, when you're filling up the garbage, be mindful to make the wet garbage packable so the bag won't explode when he's taking it down the stairs. You have to teach boys how to be civilized, just like you have to teach girls how to be civilized. I don't understand the disparity. I don't understand why boys are. I know there's a difference in biology and nature, but when it comes to just leaving these boys to be hard, what are we really asking them to do? What are we
I'm
really
gonna
asking
be
them to do?
I'm gonna
Like, you
be
gotta
honest
be
with
hard, so I gotta treat you like an animal. Like, is that what
I'm gonna
we doing? That's what we
I'm
doing?
gonna
I
be
gotta treat a boy like an animal so he can grow up hard?
See, I
For
don't
what?
know, because Chad and both his brothers ended up all in jail. Chad ended up straightening his life around, but he's got one brother in prison for life for murder, the other brother in and out of jail for
Because they were
child support.
beaten. Because they were
The
beaten. They
the
were
other
hit. Like every time you turn around, some child is getting hit. Some male child is getting hit.
my other
And it turns them
uh
into monsters.
and they had the upbringing in and out of foster care. They found their mother dead at age 11
Oh,
in
that's
in their bed. Uh and but they grew up on a farm. They grew up
a tragedy.
beating the crap out of each other.
It's all
Um
a tragedy, man.
roughhousing constantly, um, having to raise one another. Chad was a young, 10-year-old little boy changing his little brother's diapers. Um, Here's the thing though, the oldest brother then had to take on the responsibility of raising his brothers and didn't know any better. Um, at the same time, they were known as savages. These brothers were the brothers and the tormentors probably of their town. And these were three white boys who were known as the bad boys of probably their town. And probably not um maybe your average don't fit into the average blonde-haired, blue-eyed Prince Charming type. You know what I'm saying? So no, not everybody fits into these perfect media representations of what America looks like, because everybody's got their own story and everybody's fighting their own battle. But if we could all look at each other as individuals, I think that we would see that sometimes there's things that bring us closer together than we even freaking realize.
like I was just sitting there thinking like I don't agree, but I understand, right? Why people treat boys like that because we supposed to be the protectors and the providers, and the world is not easy. So you got to get them ready. And I just think people don't know how to do it the right way. And that's what I'm learning with my son, right? I show my son so much love and admiration that I never received, you know. But it's times where I tell him like, okay, this is not a time to cry because you don't get what you want. That's not a reason to cry. Okay. But when he have reasons to cry, I let him cry. I tell him I love him, I hug him, I kiss him all the time. I never got that. I didn't get affection like that when I was a kid because I was a boy. The boys don't get that.
Right.
We get to,
Yep, they don't.
we get down in the mud. We get our ass kicked. I got
Right.
mine, bro, from everybody, from the women, from the men, like everybody was
Rub,
hard,
yep.
you know.
Rub dirt
And
in
I
it.
understand, I understand because I mean I don't agree. I'm not saying I agree, but I understand the mindset. But people only equipped with the available tools that they have. Right. Oh, I didn't even know Miller fell off. But that's all people are equipped with. So I mean, that's why I think in a lot of impoverished environments you see a lot more abuse. Not saying it don't happen in other environments. I just think it's more
No,
likely
it's
than
just it's
in
everywhere.
impoverished environments. Yeah. Like and I call middle class impoverished. Middle class like people struggling. And it's the mindset too. Like my daddy did it to me, so this is how it's supposed to be done. This was done to me, so it's acceptable. People adopted that mindset through generation. You know, um,
It doesn't stop until there's that one person who breaks the cycle.
Who do something different. Yep. And it's
Who's
all learned behavior. It's just behavior passed down, down, down. We call it a cycle. It's a cycle of behavior. My
exactly.
mom, this is the way my parents did it, so this is the way I'm gonna do it. This is the way you know what I'm saying? It's a cycle of behavior.
See, and I think that men get, there's the Me Too movement for women, right? And I
Hmm.
am a strong believer in him too. Because what about our
Yeah,
sons? What about our sons? I
and
have too many nephews that I have to stand behind because behind not that I don't stand up for women. I'm not, I will support women and their right to be feminists, but I stand behind my man and I also stand behind his right to rule his house. I I just believe in that. But that's just me. But every woman and every man has a right to rule their house whichever way they choose to run their house. But I believe that our house runs smoother with Chad running it. Um, but that's just the way I like it. God first, then Chad, then me. Um, only because it just feels like it fits good that way for us. And I also think it's empowering for him and it's empowering for me because I like it that way. And he does too. But it doesn't work like that in a lot of other relationships. So that's up to them. Everyone has to figure out their own niche.
well, see,
But men have
even
a right. I just think men have a right to have their own masculinity. I'm just saying men have a right to have a warrior spirit. But then again, so do women if they
mm,
choose to.
and you see what commander. This is why like I enjoy having like discussions and a lot of people like to debate like it's either this way or that way. But I love to have discussions because like Commander said, and who is protecting the women, girls, in my world as a child and young lady, I had to learn to protect myself. Now see that's her, experience. And
Yeah.
when debating comes, what happens is we often disassociate or we discount other people's experience. And
No, never
like in my
discount it.
experience, everything was about the girl. Like the boys, we all protected the girl. We were raised like that as a kid, protect the women, protect the women. I mean, even now, I'm reciting that to my son. Like, you got to protect the first, be aware, protect your mom. I'm reciting because that's what was instilled in. But that's
Right.
not everyone's experience,
Right. But
So
who
I
looks
come
out
off
for
here,
him?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
my daughter.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but then nobody was looking out for for me like that. But
Well, cool.
that's why it's important to hit everyone's story. You know, yeah. So we can we can learn from one another because we only have our own experience. So we sometimes perceive the world just from that perspective, from our own personal experience. And so, like I said, the world ain't black and white. it's all different colors. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks for letting me come up.
Oh, for sure, man. I appreciate you coming up. Come work out. We be,
Sorry
you
if I
know,
said too much. I
no,
apologize.
no, you ain't saying too much. You
I
ain't saying
didn't
too
mean to
much.
I didn't mean to be offensive if I was, and I don't know where she went. I feel bad. I thought we
No,
were all
Mella,
just talking at the same time.
no, I don't think like no Mella. She'll come up and she'll go jump down. She a
Okay.
busy woman. Sometimes she be having
Okay.
things to do.
All right,
No,
because she's
Mella don't take
awesome.
nothing. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
She Mella always have a conversation with me. She'll be back.
All right. She
Sometimes
was
when she hop down
fantastic.
like that,
All right. She was fantastic.
she
So thank you so
those
much.
good people. Yeah, I don't think she don't take stuff personal or nothing like that.
Okay, good,
She
good, good.
passionate about she passionate about her the
Her
things she
brother.
speak about. And, yeah, very
Yeah.
passionate about it.
Oh yeah, that was
So,
yeah, I could feel that. It really broke my heart. That's I was like, yeah, like what about him? Like I could feel
yeah.
that. Yeah, what about these boys? Because that's how I felt too. Sorry. All right, I'm just gonna repeat myself anyway. So okay, thank you so much.
Oh, for sure, Gary. Gary used the emotion. Oh man, Gary sleeps, y'all. Gary, Mr. Buster down, bro. Mr. 33. What up, though?
I'm awake now. What up, though? Ah, man. Hi, Dolly. How you doing?
Hi, peace and blessings. I was just gonna drop down.
Okay. Um,
Unless you got something you want to say to me.
I mean, it's really for everybody, right? Because he's saying the topic was really about being naive. I just
Oh
think
yeah.
that a lot. I just think that a lot of the time, for example, right? If I'm a, I, I consider myself to be a nice person, right? And and I see a lot of people that's broken around me. I, I, I extend my niceness to them, right? Now, some people might say it's different, it's odd, but I just feel like some of the time that some people in those vicinity they need to see a different light, a different aspect to a situation because if they see chaos and mayhem and problems and drama, they need to see something new. So I like to extend that to a lot of people. I truly I live my life that way because for somebody it may help them improve on their life to say there's something different than what I normally know and decide to go that route. Now, does it happen often? I don't know. Right? That's not my job to distinguish if it happens often or not. I just think that it needs to be displayed. And of course, there's gonna be people that's going to abuse the privilege of being around a nice person. I understand that. I don't.
Right.
I don't really find a fault with it because that's that's a part of life. I just think that a lot of the time the good can outweigh the bad, right? So for every one person that abuses the privilege, I believe there should be three that going to say, you know what, that guy's cool, he's calm, and if I need to talk to him, I talk to him. He may not be as fun as I am, but I know his sincerity is in his characteristics, so I can accept him for being who he is. So, I just think that, there are people that finish last because they are nice, but I don't think it's because they're naive. I just think it's because there is too much negative things out there and they just want to display that light of niceness for people to not take advantage of, but it's just to be seen so they can see another side of what they normally know.
Mm.
I'm a I'm a rebuttal that 1 second. We about to get into debate mode because Gary came up here to debate. Gary came from the smoke.
Uh-oh.
But Shout out to the Cash App. Yee.
Work out the money, work out the juice. 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 Work out the money, work out the juice.
Yee. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. Yeah. So I wanted to rebuttal what Mr. 33 said. He said, and I don't quote word for word, but he said that people are not naive when they just being nice, right? I agree with that. But they become naive when they being nice to the wrong people. I'm just fucking with you. But nah, not like debating and rebuttal. But that's what I'm saying though. Like it's just being nice to the wrong people. It's like you just going around because you get burnt out. I like, bro, I don't care what nobody says. Like when somebody slaps you in the face, you only gonna take that slap so many times and not feel some type of way about getting slapped. So when you just being nice to everybody, you know, the good shit outweigh the bad, but you still gonna feel that bad, bro. You still gonna feel it. And that's how you get burnt out. That's how you get
Oh, I
burnt
agree
out.
with that. I agree with I agree with that. It's times I'm like, I'm gonna just disappear, right? Just because you get yourself burnt out, but I don't even want to say it's burnt out. I'm saying it's time to step aside because I got to refuel myself because somebody else may need what I'm still giving out, what I'm still dishing, what I'm still trying to pour out of me. So, you still have to refill your cup, right? If you're a kind person, you're going to have to refill your cup. If you the opposite of that, if you're a jackrabbit, you're going to have to fill yourself up. Just look at all the content that's good and look at all the content that's bad. A lot of them disappear and then come back. Or you see people that have they talk about a good conversation and then the next thing you know they in a crisis. They in a drama filled state. We know one that said, you know what, because I'm doing the right thing and things became chaotic on my end, I might as well stay on the side of the chaotic side and not be kind. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's about the comfort of an individual. And like I said, I'm speaking for me. I don't mind being who I am. And like I said, I am expecting people to abuse the privilege of being around me. I know that, but for the most part, I don't think people's going to abuse it. I cannot allow the minority to become a majority. I can't allow that one person to stop me from being the person that I am, and it affects 3 other people that need what I am offering. So, but of course, like I
I
said,
add this.
there's going to be people that abuse it.
I want to add this to what you just said because even that I know. You know what I'm saying? People go abuse it, so I ain't gonna let them. You see what I'm saying? That's what. Like even when you talk about vulnerability, treat your vulnerability like you treat your niceness, bro. Everybody
Oh,
don't deserve.
absolutely,
Once a person
absolutely.
show
To an
like
extent,
I agree with what you're saying. Like everybody get it until you show me you don't deserve it. I fuck with that ideology. I roll with that. Nate
right,
the Great, what up though, my brother? Appreciate you, Nate. Appreciate you. Did I miss anybody else?
right. I don't know. What up in the chat? Chat. Where you at?
Hold on 1 second. I'm outside. I don't know if that's Commander or somebody else popping up.
It ain't no
Give me
commander
one
because
second.
commander don't need you.
Okay, no, because I heard the pop in the thing.
No, I'm saying commander don't need you to
Yee.
pop in.
Yeah, that's ARD.
Yes, it is.
There you go.
What it is,
There
what
you
it ain't.
go.
Take it past the
Oh,
spec. You dig?
What's
Mhm.
going
Nah.
on with you?
Happy Tuesday.
Mhm.
Hello,
Happy
Yes, sir.
hello.
Tuesday.
Man, bust down. Big Gary, you said something that
What's
was
happening?
very, very, very special. I was peeping in on this on my way back, and I was like, man, there's a lot of hurt in this world, man. I'm like, Jesus, do you think like that? Like, do people really think like this because they were hurt, or did they see somebody else go do something, or did they just see it on the internet? I don't know,
Mm,
you know. But one thing for sure, and two things for certain. Nice guys don't finish last. If you intending to be nice, I mean that's out of character, right? I mean, especially now. You are who you are. So if you're nice, you're nice. You shouldn't change that up. Of course, you gotta get wiser and smarter about how you move and who to be nice with, but you never change
mhm,
your character. You never change who you are. That's how
Truth.
you miss your blessings, you know? And
Truth.
you can't teach nobody either. Just because you had a hard time with somebody played you a couple of times by being nice, man, I was nice. That's why I got played. Now you trying to get a part of this world, right?
Right.
Nah, that's not really how you gotta go, right? You can get wiser about who you be nice with like that, but you don't treat anybody indifferent, or you just cut people off and know how to play
Mhm.
to a certain level with them. That's my thought as a high
Sometimes,
level.
so-
Yeah,
even what you said, cutting people off, shit, that's being nice sometimes. Because if I don't cut you off, I might
it
cut you.
sure is.
So, you know what
It
I'm
sure.
saying? So that's being nice. Being nice to me is the opposite of being mean. So sometimes me walking away or not doing something is me being nice. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Once I see a person um can't receive it, then I don't give it to them. It's a strategy behind it. There's a strategy behind being nice, man. That's what I'm saying. It ain't just something you turn on and leave it on. Nah, that's naiveness. Like when people take advantage of you, it ain't because you're nice. It's because you're naive. It's because you don't know what the hell they doing. Now you can say the precursor was me being nice and me allowing certain things, but that's still naive. You still being naive any way you want to look at it. So it ain't
that's a
the
fact.
reason you get took advantage is not because you're being nice. It's because you're naive. Your niceness can lead to naiveness, but ultimately, it's you're being naive.
Come on, man. You have to understand what you bring to the table and what you expect from the table to understand what you desire from the table, right?
Hmm.
And from that, it's like you can't. For instance, I had a situation. Long story short, um, and I was like, man, I keep doing this, doing this. I'm doing everything that you tell me, right? It was business related. I'm like, man, but you keep moving the goalposts, right? You keep moving the goalposts. And I'm like, okay, let me understand. Am I being too nice? Right? Because the money was cool, right, for every contract, long story short. But I was inviting more people as well. I'm like, now we're getting a little too comfortable. Oh, well, nah, ARD, no, this is good. Right. Woo, woo. I was like, all right. Then it came for the quarterly, whatchamacallit, right, where they have to pay dues. And I was just like, all right, so you added more seats, right? These are the people I train, woo woo. And this is what it requires because this is what you signed up for additional seats. Oh, ARD, you can accept, you were just so acceptable and lenient on this. And I was like, no, I was never lenient, right? You signed the contract. You thought I was about to eat that cost? Hell to the nizzle. I need all mine. Well, we don't have that in the budget for this quarter. I said, I'll take all the quarters you got. Was I
You
being
sound like
naive?
contract.
Nah.
You sound like contract.
I'll take
Yeah,
all the
you
quarters you
really
got.
naive like that. Yeah.
But if I was a pushover, it would be one thing. But the thing was, I was transparent with everybody. Like in my line of business, like, all right, additional seats require this. You got a buffer for this, right? And I already knew, right? I'm the only person that look like me. But I do my business so well. It's just like everybody knows this, right? It's already stated. It's already done. It's already communicated. So I was like, okay, yeah. just because I'm likable, people resonate with me, and I do my job as well as my company. I don't mean that I gotta accept this and be quote unquote a nice guy. Oh, you can be a nice guy, but still stand on business. Like
Yeah.
it shouldn't make you a bad guy if you standing on business and you truly a nice guy in your heart. You can fake like you a nice guy. So if I fake like I was a nice guy, in my personal life or professional life, you people will have some rhetoric about you, how you treated them. Everybody in my personal and private life would know, professional and private life would tell you. It's just like, they'll say a similar story. Like, it's just whatever, whatever they tell you. I ain't gonna say it. Am I making sense?
No,
Because
you
if I
good.
thought I was naive, I was like, dang, man, I would have missed out on this, that, and the third while y'all got the benefit, right? Nah, I ain't playing that game. Run me my you digs.
Need my money.
Run
Big
me my
Mitch,
mail,
what's up,
man.
though,
Run me
man?
my mail real quick. But yeah, my bad. I know I just interjected with that, but I think that was an analogy, to what was going on here. Let me know if I'm off.
No, man. I mean,
No,
look, bro. This is what it is. This is what it is. We all have like my perception of nice would be different from Gary's. Gary's would be different from yours. Yours might be different from Dolly, from Big Mix. That's just, and we can learn and maybe, Gary said something that I can add to my repertoire. Maybe you said something I can add to my repertoire. That's why I like having discussions like this, because we only have our own experience, so sharing those, getting understanding of those, you might,
sharing it.
can add something, that somebody else offered.
Shit.
Yeah,
Go
that's a
ahead, Big
fact. And
Mix.
I
I see
think on
you up
a
here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's up, panel?
welcome in. Yeah. And the other part too, I kind of caught it and I was trying to catch in with it, with something about, black boys and all that stuff. And I was just like, yo, hold on, that's a little offsides. And I don't want to get back into that, but I was just like, that's a little offsides to me because we all can see, everybody can be anything at any time, right? Especially as just adolescents and kids. So, I think a present father is everything, and a present relationship, at the household
Absolutely.
is everything. I don't care what God you praise or what moon you praise, but to have a have a standardization, have a foundation, a true foundation that can exist, over 20 years, right? And that consistency of 20 years, I don't care how you got to play it. That 20 years is everything. And if you're gonna
Yeah,
procreate, you gotta be able to stand there, you know what I mean, and know how to create that standardization, you know. If not, I mean, you can't do that now in 2025 and play games. I'm just being honest.
yeah,
I'm training my people to make sure they know how to, you know, it's not a business minded move. It's more so I'd rather train my people to know everybody ain't gonna be raised like you. And you have to have the EQ and everything, right?
yes,
So they can get a little bit of that too, right? Because you can't do it alone. That's how I'm training my people. And I know that's a little bit super future, but it is what it is. But
true.
No, but no, no, wasn't wrong. She was just sharing her experience, and it's interesting because, to be honest, I had the same experience. Like, you come to an awakening, like, where you don't see representation of yourself in a positive light and you wonder why. You know what I'm saying? And that's all she was explaining. Like, in the media. That's why, when she specifically said media, the way black boys are portrayed, even if you think about the popular shows, the black boys is the gangsters, the thugs, the drug dealers, the rappers, kind of sports, they ain't the Doogie Howsers. You know what I'm saying? what black, you'll see
Yeah,
black.
that's a fact. Or if they into science, they nerds, right? Or they into math and know how to read well, they nerds, right? You
Or if
Yeah,
they
dig?
but
ain't in
Like,
the
come
hood,
on,
and,
man. Yeah, they
if they
and
in
nerds,
that
the
man.
hood,
has
if they not hooded out,
and that
they
Hey, that's
different.
anti where I live. I say
Wow,
both,
the
but that's
and that
stereotype.
anti.
has a psychological effect on. I'm not gonna say everyone, but it does have a psychological effect on people how they perceive themselves. And that's the fact. It studies the back that. How people perceive themselves. Associating with things in the media, in even in life. If you're in the hood and that's what all you see is that's all exposed to. But but even like this, what I'm saying about people personal experience. A lot of times we compare and contrast to one another instead of just soaking in what people saying because that's my experience too, as she was stating, as a black man. But I can sit back and listen to Dolly and tell her story and see similarities in it. Yeah, they're not black, and the way we perceive now, like think of the flip side of this now. Now listen what I'm saying. I just told you how white people are perceived in the media, like the Boogie Houses, 90210, shit like that, right? Now imagine if you white and you're not living that.
Mm.
Wouldn't it make you feel insignificant? Like, damn, that's how I'm supposed to
Yeah,
live, but
small. Yeah,
I'm
very
not. You know
small.
what I'm saying? So it has an effect on each side differently. But I only know my side because that's my experience. So for
I
me to
think it'll
understand the
probably
other
give you a
side,
sense
I
of
will
it.
have to listen.
You right.
Like shout out
Yeah.
to my boy King Blackout. Like when he came on here, it was like, man, shit, I was so he was living in the star. He was this, he was that. Shout out to Northwest. White man. Another white dude. He living in a tent right now, bro. He poor. He ain't benefiting from his white privilege or none of that shit, right? He actually living poor. And it don't matter if he white or black. His circumstance, his situation, it don't give a fuck about color. It don't.
Isn't it crazy though?
Circumstances in life,
Yeah.
man, like it don't really give a fuck about color, bro. And like
Nah.
Dolly was saying, like sometimes that separate us are we
Mentality.
indulge so much into our experience that we forget that other people have experiences too. So when we hear someone else's, we and I believe it happens subconsciously. We begin to compare and contrast. It's like almost like an automatic. And I can like when I'm
There you
up here
go.
talking a lot, I can see when it happens. Like
Big
I see
Dolly. Yeah.
I see when it happens, like when people begin to compare and contrast their own personal experience with other people, and I think a lot of times that's where um, the disconnection may occur, not always, but sometimes that's when it may occur.
I think
I don't know why I
comparison
said all
is
that. I
like
just,
literally the
I don't
thief
know.
of joy. And you're right, man. Totally. Because when I was here, I was just like, man, if I didn't
And
understand like the thief of comparison early and how we was raised, man, we never would have been able to think for ourselves, right? And
one,
it's being
one
able to
second, bro.
teach. Oh, go
My
ahead.
bad.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off. Just 1 second, bro. I had to say this. I just looked at my screen and seen Dolly face on my body.
oh, hi. I was like, look at my body, look at my body, look at my body. I work out. I work out. And nobody saw me. I
Oh
was
man, my
look at
bad, ARD. I just when I seen that, bro, it just tickled me. My
No
bad.
worries. No worries. Big Dolly. What it is, what it ain't, though. Yeah.
look at my body. I work out. I work out. Look at my body. Anyways, sorry, real quick. I'm gonna drop down, but it's been an honor listening to all of you guys speak. So thank you very much. And yeah, I stayed up here. I thought Commander was gonna come up here, and she didn't. So thanks guys.
He'll be up here probably about a half an hour.
I'll catch you
About
later.
half an hour. Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Dolly.
Yes,
You're always
likewise.
welcome.
Thank you, gentlemen.
As
Appreciate you.
well.
Thank you,
Appreciate you
Dolly.
rocking
Thank
out in
you.
the show.
Blessings.
Being in the show for me, man. You was rocking the chat. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she started the
Oh,
show.
yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that, man.
Hey, I don't know what you got going on over there, but man, keep going. And you did. Yeah, that's much
Man,
respect.
I'm just I'm just trying to bring a little light to the darkness, bro. That's all I'm doing.
It's a lot of light these
Hmm.
days. You see the days, you
No,
got
no,
8 p.m. and it's still the sun out. It's a lot of light
no,
these
bro.
days.
Oh, bro. Hold on, my bad. My dog attacked. Get off me. You too big, bro. Come on, let's go.
Listen,
Come
listen,
on.
listen,
Let's
listen.
go.
We gotta
Oh man.
understand, right? There's a
I
greatness
should
of
have got smoked
Big
understanding
though.
here,
bust
right?
down, yes, sir.
Should have got
There's a
smoked.
greatness of understanding. As long as it's summertime, right? The sun is always going to shine a little bit more, right? They have their season. The winter have its season. Fall has its season. Spring has its season, right? So we got to understand it don't matter where the sunlight coming from, and sometimes it don't matter how long the sunlight is coming out. It's
Come on,
going to come
baby.
out, whether you accept it or not. It's on you, right? And
Get
and
off
we
me.
know that sometimes when you becoming a better version of yourself, that light is a
Oh my
necessity
god.
because you can't just be in the darkness all the time. Even though the greatest things that there are great things that come out of the dark, that light could be imperative as well. You need that balance in life. And sometimes the sun's going to shine more, and sometimes you might have darker days. But the balance is always going to weigh itself out. So you got to understand that, you know, whether you think it's nice or naive, the balance is what's going to get you through the day.
Ooh, you said nice
And
or
my dog just
naive.
attacked me. Ain't nobody help me. Man, y'all weird, bro. I ain't even call 911
I'm
or
not even
nothing.
seeing the
Can't,
chat.
I
Don't
I
can't
got a
make a,
big
I
worry.
ass
can't,
I
German
call
Nah, bust
919.
I
down what
can't
you
Hold
do
on,
a,
just
man. I
said.
call
Can't be
A
out of
whistle
919.
note,
mind.
like a,
Sheshept.
I can do a
Let her
whistle
big
note,
ass jump.
like a dog whistle to scare him.
Man, she like a goddamn wolf. Her big ass jump
Nola,
on
go
them
sit
shit out
down.
here. She want to go outside. Great. You ain't going outside because if I don't go with you, you gonna be barking.
Ooh.
So you gonna have to wait, homie. My wife kept telling me to remove the baby gate. We don't need it. I'm like, yes, I do, because I don't want no ass in here jumping on me. I closed the gate. She can't get in.
Mm. Oh, I thought you said a wolf like in the chat. Somebody trolling. You talking about real life,
Oh no,
IRL.
no man,
Jesus.
my damn. Yeah, I got a German. Her mom is a king shepherd, so she's a little bit bigger than an average German shepherd. She's like a
Nice,
damn wolf,
nice.
man.
Yeah, I
Got a
got a
pink
little
coat. She a
mastiff
red
over
coat
here,
too.
man. We gonna see, but she know well. She know well. Yeah.
My wife talking about getting a cane for, so we get
We
ready.
gonna
So
see.
working
Yeah.
on
Think
moving.
about a breed between my mastiff and the cane, but we gonna see if it makes sense. Yeah. I just need a super hybrid. That's all. And then some pure
That,
bloods. We're gonna see.
it's a
But that's neither behind the point. Gary,
like
man, you just busted down for show, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I listen sometimes. I listen to understand.
Big Mix, what it do with the business is, bro? Why you so quiet? You over there writing him?
Just listening. I was just listening. Like it's like the conversation was flowing so well. I was just listening to
Man,
you
you know what?
explaining
I'm about
things,
to
man.
unflow the conversation since you on the panel. I'm about to talk some shit. What the hell you mean a video of me dancing to Whitney Houston? What the hell was you talking about yesterday?
Oh,
Wait,
I been
what?
saw that, dude. I been
He
seeing
was
that,
trying
man.
to
That's-
roast. He was in the chat trying to roast something about
Oh yeah,
this video of me
dude.
dancing to Whitney Houston.
You was having fun, and you was having fun until the other guy started getting next to you. Then you kind of like went and sat down, and
Wait, what?
it was a whole thing. It was a whole
I don't know.
Wait in
thing.
the
Look,
evening?
You don't
look,
remember he?
look. Big Mix
Yeah,
be
like
pop locking in my yellow
we
submarine.
can talk about the video if you want to. It's not a
Nah,
secret
nah,
anymore.
that'll be
Right?
clickbait if
It's
y'all
not a
want
Man,
to
secret
clickbait.
anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that
You
what you
don't
want,
want to do
man?
that.
I saw it, man. But wait, what?
He said he solid. Jesus Christ. With the L, you solid?
No, I
Yo.
saw it. I
man,
said I
look,
saw it. Saw the video.
Okay.
look. If you believe that Big Mix be in Walmart tickling people, so
Oh,
don't
I went
mind
to
him.
Walmart. I went to Walmart today, and it was just like a
Wh-
Walmart in today. It's the same people being there every time.
Man, I'm about to
When
go to
the
Walmart for the first time for a minute. Yeah, we
He
gonna
go
see.
he goes in Walmart, hides in between the clothes, and pops out and starts tickling people. So I'm not.
Yeah,
Oh my
I just
gosh.
go pick up. I go to the toy section. I just start playing with. I sit on the floor and start playing with the toy.
Okay.
Go back.
Oh yeah, which Walmart you at? What store? 'Cause I'm gonna make sure we get you up out of there. We're gonna put you on one of them photos.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't even. Hey, ARD, don't even send the cops, man. Call ICE, bro. We just gonna make some shit up.
Yeah, I ain't from here
See,
anyway. I'm an
if I
alien.
do ice, man, they gonna take everything. So I don't
I'm a,
know.
a- I'm not even. I'm not from Earth, bro. I'm not. You can get ice, but they can't send me back unless
Okay.
they got the rocket. Unless they got the ship, bro.
Okay.
So they can't send you back to
Okay.
the
They
space.
can't. No, they
I
can't.
think I
And
know
then
a
as
way
far
they can send you back to space.
I got
Okay,
rejected. I
Enoch.
got rejected. I got rejected by my home planet because of my because I love humans,
Oh,
but they don't love
I
humans like
saw
I
that
do.
movie. I
They say
saw
you
him.
love them so much, you go out and live with them.
Okay.
I
You
was
know
watching
what?
that
They
with the
got this
kids.
one thing that they call call it, and I think you will fit right in. Maybe that's where you
Oh shit.
from.
Where?
Somewhere over nowhere, over yonder.
Over yonder. Over chill. Over yonder.
Talk about the
Oh,
places
I don't know.
where the outfits look like straight jackets, when the uniforms look like straight jackets. You talk
Crazy.
about that place.
I'm just like people always thought I was crazy. People thought I was crazy until I started making music. Then it's like, oh, and then
Bro, most
everybody thought
crazy
I was
people make
crazy until I
music, bro. What did you? You know that, right? A lot of crazy people make music. Most of the people who make music crazy.
So
uh
when you making the music, do you think you being nice or you being naive? Which one you think you being?
I think I'll be being slick, not even
Uh-huh. See,
yeah, like it ain't like I got
you
hip
can't.
I put hypnosis and stuff in my music, so when somebody listen to my song, they just do what I want them to do. But
Uh-huh.
it's
Do
Trying to
you
be
alien
like the
do?
music.
Pied Piper.
It's
So you
alien
put
music.
hypnosis in your songs?
It's way more advanced than Earth music, bro. Like trying to tell you, like I don't even use the same frequency that Earthlings use.
Hey,
See,
Like
you hit them. Yeah.
Mhm.
You can't even say
yeah.
I think
frequency
what
if you
somebody
ain't
just
from
said.
the earth, right? What's frequency? But I'm curious to know.
the
Hey, when
frequency.
you hit them, did you put that little sauce in it so they want to just play it over and over and buy it? Like, did you do that?
The, I made a
You
McDonald's
forgot that
tune. I
part.
made
You
ba
ain't
da
make the
ba ba
McDonald's tune.
ba.
I'm loving it. Nah, that
Just
was
like
pushing T.
listen,
That was clips. That was
listen.
clips. Stop it. Hey, lie
I did
again.
it.
Lie again.
Oh my God, he just saw me play it out loud.
Yeah,
Okay,
lie
just
again.
wait,
That's clips.
just wait.
Google it.
I'm gonna put your name in my next song, my next diss track,
All right, then.
my next
Cool.
diss
Hopefully, I
section.
go to the moon too.
Let's go.
Big
Why it
Mick's
gotta be
making
a
this
diss
track.
track? Why it can't be a blessed track? Why it gotta be
Yeah,
negative
man, ain't got
frequency,
no.
right?
You missed out. You missed out when you told me to go. You missed out. You missed out real quick. You missed out real quick just a moment ago when you told me when start getting a little saucy with the. You getting a little saucy with me. You don't know what I had. I had a whole
You
concert
said
planned
blah
for
blah
you.
blah blah blah. I'm loving it. I told you what that was, right?
What was it?
I told you. You said you made it, right?
I did.
Did you?
Ba da ba ba ba. Loving you.
Lie again.
I ain't gonna do that no more. I ain't
My
doing
guy
that no
can't get
more.
no copy strike. We ain't doing that. Yeah, we can't afford that.
Yeah,
Yeah, lie
I'm trying to
again.
get banned. I'm trying to get the whole panel banned off the. That was just big
I don't
mistracks
know what.
again.
Lie
Hold on,
again.
man.
I don't even know why you said that. You know that's
Hold
clips,
on,
right?
man.
Yeah.
It's the internet. It's the internet.
Hold on, man. I don't know what's going on right now.
I'm sorry. I'm
This
just
man
calm
just
down.
said blah
I
blah
gotta
blah blah
come
blah. I
With
got
all due respect, what the fuck are you talking about? And
Poor little tank, ain't that a bitch?
I don't know what's going on right now.
Whoever can
I'm
solve
telling you,
nine plus
He
seven,
just said he
whoever
made
can
ba da
solve
I
ba
nine
got
ba
plus seven the
I
ba.
got
fastest.
lost. I got
Yo, you
lost.
made
I'ma
ba da
sum it
ba
up
ba
for you.
ba, bro. All right,
You
bro.
you you, you promoting something without getting paid.
Bruh.
Oh, I do that all the
DJ,
time.
I thought he
you
said
good.
he
But
made
you
a
got a
Wow.
song
DJ out
off
of this
of the.
world with that
I don't
one.
know.
You
Hold on,
did. Nah,
hold on.
much
Big Mick.
respect.
No, Big Mick. Did you say you made a song off that jingle? Is that? I thought that. Is that what you said?
He said he
No,
made
he
that.
said he made the
Yeah,
jingle.
wait, I don't understand the question. I don't
No.
understand the
What?
question. I
He
No.
said,
came
Didn't you
up
"Yeah,
say?
with
am I tripping?"
McDonald's jingle. No, I didn't. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? You know what? I ain't. You know what? The whole time people listen to McDonald's, one day I went. One day I was. Let me tell you how it happened. I went in McDonald's and the dude was sitting right there. He was like, "Man, what am I gonna say?" And then this girl walked by and she had on like I was like, bye 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 bye. I love you later. And then he was like, oh, I like that. And he said, let me change up a little bit. He said, come here, young man. Do that again. I said, bye 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 bye. I love you later. And he said, do that again. Bye 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 bye. And then he said, oh, you can go. Next thing you know, I look on TV. I was like, damn, I ain't made no money off that. That man built the whole franchise on one jingle.
Okay, so y'all heard right.
Man, thank you for explaining your side of the story.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, I'm just a random artist,
And the
bro.
Genie King we talking about here.
Bro, bro, that's that uncle who that's like you know how they say how they be making fun of Cat Williams. They say Cat Williams made everything. That's all it is, bro. Now, man, y'all don't take Big Mick serious, man.
Don't pay me
We
no
just having
attention.
fun.
I'm an
You got the
Yeah,
alien
it's
too.
Jesus
your fault.
sandals on at the barbecue, flipping the burgers. You did? No, I'm just
with
playing with
the
you.
with the tall white sock with
Come on,
the
man.
with the
Turn your
1980s
head to the
Indian
left
short on
and turn your head to
You
the
with
right.
the
did. You got a little
Don't two times.
Moscato. You did.
with the Hawaiian shirt with two top buttons on.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
The real dad shirt, the uncle shirt. That ain't even a
I'm
dad
the
shirt.
kid.
That's an
I'm the
uncle
kid.
shirt.
so he was saying he was being naive. He didn't know he was being taken advantage of by them people when he sung that song, and
Right. Perfect
you
example.
know. So that's where the title comes in because he was finishing last because he was naive to the fact of what he was doing. That's what he's
Yeah,
trying to
that's
tell
a
you.
fact what
Oh
Clips
my
said.
God.
Yeah. Blah 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 blah. I'm loving it. That was Clips, right? That was Pusha T who made that. And he even made Arby's. We Are the Meats, right? And he got all his royalties off of that. He lost
I
out on
didn't
the
even know
first
that.
one.
I went to high school with
Yeah.
Pusha T.
Yeah, Clips,
I never
Pusha
knew that.
T. He made We Are the
No,
Meats,
I didn't. I ain't
Arby's.
gonna. I'm
He
lying.
got
I ain't
all his. He got. Hey, you ain't got to even check me.
for real.
Google fact me. I'm telling you. Yeah,
I
I'm just
never knew
saying
that.
what it
You
is.
know,
Yeah.
somebody made it. So it was
Nah,
there. So
nah. Clip
somebody
Pusha
made
T
it.
made we.
But
Hey,
that
I'm loving it. You know, and then he took a one sign deal like a contractor role. Yeah, that's what he did. And then he realized how much money he was missing because he ain't take a percentage of equity. And then he had opportunity to do something for Arby's, and he made We Are the Meats. Y'all heard that? Y'all ain't even know that was Pusha T from the Clips. Yeah, he got his royalties over that one too. Yeah.
we have the meat. Yeah. Oh damn, that shit crazy, bro. I never knew that.
Was that the music, or was he
Fact
talking?
check me, man.
No,
Fact
the
check
whole
me.
concept, the whole concept is saying like,
Yeah, even the music,
yeah,
they curated. He
yeah, the music
curated
and everything,
everything.
the
We
voice,
are the
everything.
meats. Oh, we have the
Well,
meats, right? Whatever that
Yeah,
phrase
we have
is,
the meat.
man, it went viral, and it's been there, and that's what he made too for Arby's. Yeah,
Yeah, I did not know that.
yeah.
Him and Justin Timberlake worked on the jingle for McDonald's.
No, they work on the second one. They didn't work on that first one when he said, "I'm loving it." They ain't work on that first one. Yeah, they worked on
Oh,
the second one with that singing
we
shit.
were with now.
That just better not get no
I used
copyrights.
to
I'm
write.
just saying.
I used to
Yeah, I'm about to say they definitely gonna hit us with one.
all right.
Yeah.
So
I
y'all
said
know
all
I'm
that
from
to say it's like to be naive, right, or nice. Right? That's a
That
cool
that's that.
example.
That's why I asked the question. Was he being naive or was he being nice?
That's being naive.
Man,
There's no
look.
way. I was like 12 years old.
I think he was being nice because he thought it
So
was
the
gonna
person
add
who
more
heard you say that
opportunity.
must have been Pusha T, right?
Yeah, push a
I
time,
guess
push a
so. That
T.
was. I guess it
Yeah,
was. I guess it
push
was.
a
I don't.
time.
He was
Yeah,
just
push
a
a
regular
T.
looking dude. He was just a regular looking person, and he said, "Come over here and do that again." And then
Yeah,
I ain't heard. I ain't reckon. I ain't seen him no more in my life, and wasn't looking for him.
Until you
But you
started
know,
saying grinding. Then you like, hey,
yeah.
I ain't made
You
it.
hear that, man?
I
Come
ain't made
on,
it.
man. So be
You
it,
know
so
that
be
song?
it.
You know that song? T-shirt and your panties on. You ever heard that song?
Nah.
The first song. The
Wait,
first
what?
song.
hey Gary, check this out. Check this out. Let me explain this real quick.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah, y'all.
See, being nice is listening to the story. Being naive is believing. I'm just
Ooh,
I'm
that's
reversing that.
it. That's it.
I'm reversing that. That you flip that
To be
around.
honest,
Naive.
most people, I took some learning courses on listening, right? And with my cousin. And what I learned was most people don't even listen to everything before they even start to respond to the whole thing. Like just saying like on some psychology stuff. People can't even
You got
remember. Nobody remembers what even they said sometimes. And I be like, oh, y'all don't remember that. So what I do, I really am like a wordsmith, like singer, writer, poet, anything. So but people don't know. Nobody knows one of my methods is in my life. Whenever I hear somebody say that I ain't never heard before, I go write it down and I look at it on paper and I think about it. And I mean, I literally have this habit, this tick. Maybe it's just something I do,
oh my God.
but I write down everything. Because most of the time people say the same things over and over again, but then they'll say something different
Mhm.
that will start a cascade of different things happening in their life, and they don't
Okay.
even know that they initiated that with their words.
Mm-mm-mm. You casting a spell?
No, I'm just telling you what I do. I don't
I
cast no
know.
spells. I ain't
Hey,
no
I
spell
love the
caster.
due
So I'm gonna
diligence
ask this.
there
I'm gonna ask
too.
this other question
But
real quick.
oh,
I'm
go
gonna ask
Man,
ahead.
this
what the
question. Hold
hell?
on. I'm gonna ask this question real quick. Big Mix. Which is better, a wordsmith or a lexicon?
Ooh,
I say a lexicon, but a lexicon is whatever that a person that knows how to use words well. A lexicon, a person that knows how to put words together better, a wordsmith. But why you ask me that?
I was just asking because you said it was a wordsmith. I was asking which is better, a wordsmith or a lexicon.
nice. That's a great
I
question.
said I just said
No, I heard the
really
answer. I heard the
okay.
answer. You asked me what made me ask that. I was thinking, I always thought that a wordsmith was one thing and a lexicon is another thing, and you confirmed that those are two different things. And then you said the lexicon is even better than the wordsmith because his range is out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just asking a question. But go ahead.
James, what up, James?
Not
I
much.
can't
Just
see there's anything wrong with.
I thought the title of the episode was interesting, so I figured I'd pop over.
Oh, we still in. We
No,
still. I'm trying
hold
to get it
on.
back there.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get it back.
Oh, and what? Oh, sorry. Word. I was gonna say, I think this is pretty interesting, especially now in the world we live in. The people that we look to our news for, the people that we go onto our social medias for, are they wordsmiths or are they lexicons or neither of the sort? And then when you actually get to where we are today on this beautiful panel that's curated, like what would you even grade this, for lexicon caliber to wordsmith? Because what I understand as a lexicon is not only a true, I would say a black book, if you will, with the connections of wordsmithing. But can the wordsmith ever get to a lexicon level without having connection with a lexicon?
Well, yeah,
Do
I
you know
think
what
I
I'm
think
saying? Am I making sense?
yeah. If you, it seems like he's trying to
I'm
make you
trying to
trying to
give
make
you an
like a
out.
competition out of it.
Oh
But
no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm
mm,
actually not trying to make. It's no competition at all. Actually, I thought I was up here just to add light to everything. I have no competition with nobody here, and that's my true word. I mean, I've always been speaking my word. No pun intended.
okay, so
I'm gonna let y'all rock out and then I
yeah,
attack.
I'm done. I'm done because I ain't get it all that stuff with that.
All
I
right.
I got lost. I got lost. I'm still on. Like this dude asked me if I would cast a spell. I was like, nah, I don't do that stuff. But I knew somebody who did, and she was a well. Back to the topic. She was a nice person, and
Wait a minute. Wait a
Somebody
minute. Hold
asked
on.
you
yeah,
Hold
what?
on.
they
Hold
just
on. Hold
Somebody
on.
asked
Hold
you
on.
what?
Hold on. You said, wait a minute. I know I'm not that damn naive. Hold on real quick. Wasn't you the one that said you put something in the music to where they do what you want them to do?
that's not spells. That's not a spell. It just sounds so good. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you
But
can't
yeah,
be
Okay.
incognito now. You said it.
yeah, I'm gonna give
But
myself that
let
title.
me let me attack the ARD's question because he did
Yes,
ask a
sir.
question
Ski.
and then James go built. But so like when we say lexicon, I don't know what everybody's vocabulary of lexicon is, but when I think of lexicon, I think of a person vernacular repertoire, right? Not only knowing the word, but understanding the origin of the word. When I think of lexicon, that's what I think of. When I think of wordsmith, I just think of someone who know how to tailor words together great, you know. So as far as how would I rate the panel for being a lexicon? I mean, I think I think we all have a unique vernacular um, repertoire, you know. And the more things, this is just me personally, the more things you into, each genre of life has its own uh, vocabulary or descriptions. Like you have a uh, medical understanding. If you do business, you have business terms. You know, so the more things you experience in life, the more understanding you'll get from different terms. So,
That's a
um,
fact. Yeah.
That's very
And I
true.
thank you for picking up that point because that's what I was trying to say. Is that mutually exclusive or not? Right. And in the Bay, what we say, right? You can have the vernacular for, you have the vernacular for the spectacular, right? And everything of that nature. And that's E40 water. But with that, it's like you have to not only do your due diligence, but also be exposed at the same time, so you know how to play it together when the time is right. Right. Gotta have the vernacular for the spectacular, right? But at the same time, you
but
gotta do your research. Yeah.
James was about to hit on a point. What it do, James? What was you about to say, bro?
You want my point, I guess, on the subject at hand? My point of view on that.
Hmm.
Um,
Go for what you want.
well, I mean, Sometimes I think the nice guys might finish last because they're naive in some ways. Sometimes I don't think well, I don't think even the topic at hand is even saying that necessarily that it's mutually exclusive. That it's you have to either be a nice guy or you have to be naive. So I think it could be a combination of both according to the topic. I think the nice guys usually are naive, typically.
But and see that's what I'm trying. That's what the whole reason I'm trying. If you look at a couple of my other lives, right? I had a live called "Kindness Without Strategy is a Trap." Right? It's a quote from Machiavelli. He had another quote, um, "Virtues without canniness is a weakness." Right? And
Yeah,
basically, what he was saying is being nice does not lead to being ignorant. It don't being nice that has nothing to do with you being ignorant. You look up the definition; they don't have no association to one another. Niceness and stupidity. And a lot of times when we get taken advantage of, it ain't because we nice. It's because we're naive. We're not paying attention. We don't understand what's going on. It's ignorant. It can be, due to our emotions, due to our experience. Maybe we never been in this experience before, but it's not because we're nice. Maybe the
I got a
niceness
question.
allows this to happen. Now, even that, you have to put that in check because now are you being nice or are you being stupid? That's
I
how
got a
you compare and contrast.
I got a
Like
question.
you really got to ask yourself that: Am I being nice or am I being stupid? And then when you ask yourself the question, you'll get an answer. Well, go ahead, Biggie.
Oh, my question to the panel is if you have you ever have out of all the nice things that you do, how much of it do how much of it goes noticed and how much of it goes unnoticed? Like, like in the raw perception of it, like the question again, my question is out of all the nice things that you do, how much of it do you how much of it gets noticed and how much of it doesn't get any kind of attention?
I say for me, the majority of the nice things I do go unnoticed because
yeah,
to me, being nice is not being rude. So sometimes I might hear somebody say something stupid and I might not respond. That's me being nice, and that does go unnoticed a lot. So
yeah. I think that's just how it is. The nature of when you do kind acts for people, it's just gonna go generally unnoticed. Um, because of just how people just are nowadays. I think generally it would have been noticed in a different time period, but nowadays I think it's just how it is.
So when a person so I got a lot of questions about this topic now that I got a fair answer from the panel because I think I'm a nice person, but I have learned that kindness can be seen as
Weakness.
trying to not only that, yes, I wanted to say that, but then it also as a way some people think that a person is nice because they have some kind of agenda that they're trying to push.
Yeah.
Like if I go be nice to a certain person,
Can I
some
can I
people will
add
say
that
you only
real
being
quick?
nice because yes. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I add that? Yeah. I was saying, just to be nice doesn't mean I'm being nice for the phony. If you truly are that way, you should keep that way. Maybe you have to be nice to other people and not the people you being nice to, right? So you can
That's
remove
good.
people just like you add people, right? So I would say it shouldn't change you. You just have to alter the way who you choose to be nice with. But if you're truly nice, cool. That's what God is about, period. You shouldn't have to change you being nice and being hardcore and all this. Yeah, we learn these things. because of how people treat your niceness according to how you think about it. But in my opinion, in my experience, I don't think that we should stop being nice or be nicer or be less nice. My opinion in this way, especially through experience, is showing, you know, if you're truly nice, then you're nice. You just have to make sure that you're around people that appreciate what you are.
That's what it boiled
It's
down
so
to.
many. Oh,
Oh no, go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
oh, I would
I
say
mean, what?
it's so many.
Yeah.
It's
I,
so many. It's so many. Like out of all the things I see people do. I generally have this belief that most people want to be nice or kind or whatever the word is. They want to be, but they don't even have the skills to be kind. Because a kind person, they don't have the skills to do it. Like even like sometimes someone is trying to help, it look like they actually hurting the situation because they don't know what to do.
They
This
don't
is
have the tools to
they don't
execute.
know what to do,
Yeah, they
and
don't
they
have the
usually have.
tools. Uh,
Or I say usually have like this motivation, like and then like somebody say you doing that wrong, and then that person say I'm just trying to help, and then they'll say then they'll go on feeling like that one time they really showed their niceness. It was not only unappreciated, but it was also degraded, whatever the word for it is, degraded, put down,
unappreciated, degraded,
all that. Yeah,
belittled. Yeah. Yeah.
belittle.
I'm definitely picking up what you're putting down. Yeah. Belittled.
Yeah.
Right.
is that
Yeah. Of
Mirable?
course.
Is that the name Mirable? What up though? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I can't see. I only got one eye. Don't blame it on
Yeah.
my heart. Blame it on my eye.
It makes.
Mirable.
You
What
know,
up
I
though?
think
Appreciate you, Mirable TV. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, we just talking about how nice guys is not the nice guy that finished last. It's the naive. Like this the whole point of I want to express with this live is like, being nice, man, like it's not you being stupid. That's what I want to express to people. If people don't appreciate your niceness, man, there's no point in giving it to them. There's no point. You can't be mad at people, you know. Uh, and it's people's perception what nice is, and even like Big Mix, man. Like he just said, some people they have the intent to be nice, they're just not built. They ain't got the tools, right? Because they don't know how to properly express themselves. But their intent is like, let me help or let me do something, but they do it the wrong way. And then, so, um, yeah, being
yeah.
nice ain't being naive. It's not being naive. Being naive is just being stupid. That's just what it is, man.
So I
One,
seen a naive person will do this. Uh, I've seen. I'm aware, but I'm not. I see naive people. They don't even know what they're walking into in a situation. Like a naive person is often lost on the whole context of where they
what,
are at the moment.
do
Like
you
walk
know the
into a
definition for,
battlefield, huh?
do you know the definition for naive? So
Not
what's one kind
yeah,
of definition
yeah. The
where we
definition of
can
naive is
extract the meaning?
someone who is unaware of their surroundings, someone who is unaware of who they're actually talking to, someone who is unaware of people, places, and things that they believe that they know about, but they really don't. That's a naive
I wouldn't
person.
even say I wouldn't even say they believe, but you got the unaware because unaware is lack of knowledge. So person or action showing lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment. You know,
Judgment. I was
um,
gonna say
Unaware.
judgment. Yeah. Or
you know.
discernment.
So when you think of a person showing lack of experience or something, like I said, they just don't know because they ain't experienced it. So then you think of people lack of wisdom. It don't say knowledge. It say wisdom. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge over time. That's what wisdom is. Is what you acquire through experience and time doing it. So you know the ins and outs of things, not just knowing it, but you're wise about it. So
Okay, I
lack
got
of
a question.
wisdom and proper judgment,
I got a question.
knowing
I got a
in like when you think of judgment, you think of you're looking from the beginning to the end. Judgment comes through comprehension, knowing like, okay, if I do this, it's 3 to 4 different possibilities. So
Mhm.
none of these possibilities are beneficial to me. So there's no point of doing this. Or some of these possibilities have a high probability of happening and is very beneficial. So we can try it and see what happens. That's making proper judgment versus being impulsive. Oh, it sounds good, it feels good, so I'm gonna do it. There's no observation, no analyzing. There's none of that incorporated into making that decision. So those are 3 keys when you think of naive. So it leads up to ignorance. You're just ignorant. You're unaware. You don't have the right tools to properly assess the situation, let alone solve it. Right? That's how I look at
Wow.
ignorance.
What would you think? What's the difference between?
Somebody
I'm curious.
robot. I don't know who's talking, but whoever was talking, they robot and say it again.
Oh my bad. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello.
There you go.
Yeah. It's AR Dizzle. Yes, sir. I said, what is the difference between being naive and ignorant, right? And what does ChatGPT say about it, right? Or anything that you experience? Because what I understand is naive and ignorance. Ignorance can come from a lack of learning or initial training. Naiveness, to my understanding, comes from you choosing to do something after you've already known something, right?
Mm. Yes,
Am I wrong
I
or
would
right?
agree.
I
I would
mean, let's
agree.
see.
I would agree.
I I would say that from if you look at from definition, like from meaning, I can agree with that, but that I don't built upon definition. They're almost synonymous.
Well, it goes to deeper
So,
levels in all of this. It's like a scale to this. Like ignorance. I put it like this: ignorance, naivety, foolery, insanity, and then pandemonium.
well, I wouldn't equate naive ignorance to panoramial or insanity. I wouldn't equate those.
Pandemonium
Pandemonium.
is a whole pandemonium is a whole nother level almost
Yeah,
though. I can
That
understand. Because
pandemonium
pandemonium then takes it takes a effort, right? It takes some type of
yeah.
essence that shows
that's the
more
level
of
of
a
ignorance.
crowd of acceptance, right?
Uh,
Yeah, like for instance, if I can break it down, but in a way I can say, hey, if I can create a whole concert around something or a whole movement around something, that's pandemonium, but it could be festered and soiled as a core with ignorance of things that you will learn because you're only there because everyone else accepts it, right? In this exciting way. That's pandemonium,
Yeah.
right? So that's
Yeah.
different than an individual level or a few, a few people around you or how you were raised. You can create pandemonium, right? But
Yeah.
pandemonium itself doesn't exist. It takes more than one.
Well, yeah, it takes more than one person
so, so my
to do
question to Commander:
pandemonium.
do you want the long way or the short way? Like, with the way we say, how do we protect ourselves from being taken advantage of? I don't care about the definition. So, when you think of how do you prevent or protect, that's a better word because you probably not go prevent, but you can protect yourself. Um, have things in place, but the main thing is understanding intent. I believe if you can acquire the intent of a person, then you can make a better judgment or decision to go forward or backward. But that comes
All
with a
stands.
lot. That's why I said the short way or the long way.
Y'all. I don't know. I need to go back
Question
to the
too.
naive and the ignorant
I think you
question
have to be
because I thought those
grounded
were two
first.
different things.
No, because this thing gets tricky, and anybody can trick you with a trick bag, right? To
But
be
in the
naive, right? You have to know yourself and have to have a source, whatever that source is.
well,
That would be
well,
my
you have
high
to gauge.
level assessment of that. Oh no, go ahead.
I often say you have to gauge. You have to gauge who you're talking to. You have to know what you have to know what kind of conversation. And I'm just saying that this is how I govern myself. And I ain't saying you gotta do it. I ain't saying I just say when 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 I'm talking to somebody or I throw in something that they might not understand just to see if they will just to see if they gonna try to talk about it. And then they'll saying something about it. And I don't even try to pull them up no more. I just be like, oh, okay. Okay, that's what you think about that. Okay, what you gonna eat for what else you gonna eat today? I try to keep it on a level where common sense is shared between me and that person because I can't walk around like a philosopher all day with like a book in my hand saying you ain't said that right. You got to say it like this, and if you don't say it like this, then you are naive and you're probably ignorant. I don't do that, but I know people.
Yeah.
I know it's
Same.
hard. It's hard to do that. It's hard to see that, but sometimes I meet people like I can sit down, I can talk about things spiritual, or I can talk about emotions. Some people are equipped to talk about emotions. Some people are equipped to talk about spirituality. Some people only talk about material goods. And those people in different languages, even the language within our culture, you'll find that people who agree on that what they want to talk about, like emotions or spirituality, they flock together, and it looks like they're creating a group or something, but actually all those people have individual feelings they self that, and they just do the gathering because for whatever reason they feel comfortable with that. That's how I see it. I don't judge a whole group of
That's
people
how
based on who agree together.
civilization. I mean, even looking at that, I mean, that's how things are. That's how people come together on comfortability. Usually it it has a primal point where everyone can associate and they feel comfortable being around people who associate with that point. So I mean, I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
but
fact.
Gary,
Yeah.
I think Gary was saying the difference between what was you saying with that DMG? What up, though? What was you saying about that? Can
I
anyone
was
think back?
I
No,
was
go
asking
ahead.
about
Big wisdom. Yeah.
I was asking about
He-
the naive the definition of naive and the definition of ignorance.
Yeah.
I thought those
Naivety. Yeah.
two. I thought it was a little. I thought they were two different things. I was just asking a
well,
question.
everything is different. Every word is different. They have
Yeah.
similarities.
Ignorance and naivety. Yeah, I
Yeah,
said
they have similarities,
naivety.
but they
They
Yeah.
different.
different. They
You
different.
But
know,
as I explained
I
one
think
thing, right, in real life.
it's
Yeah. Oh,
like
go
when
ahead.
it comes, my bad, but when it comes to naive, it's usually looked at as more passive than ignorant. It's like naive look at, well, I say more innocent. Like when people are naive, when you look at like the behavior of naive, the association to behavior when they say naive is more ignorant. I mean, it's more innocent than ignorant. Ignorant always had a negative connotation to
Exactly.
it, like it was
Yeah.
done purposely. You know, when people think of ignorant, but that's not true because ignorance, the definition is literally lack of knowledge.
Lack of
And then when you
knowledge.
look at the
Yeah.
definition of naive, it says shows the lack of knowledge. So think of one as having lack of knowledge and the other one showing lack of knowledge.
Someone experienced more and still chose to be naive, which requires them in our terms to be ignorant, right?
Well,
Because you
well, yeah,
experienced
you
more
might.
than one
It's
that didn't understand, right? Because you didn't experience much, right? For instance, an adolescent or a kid, right? Or anything of that nature. Or you can be an adult kid, right? There's a way to be
Mhm.
naive because of your lack of experience, not just because of how long you've been on this earth, right? You can be naive because you haven't experienced that, and that's your first time. Or you can be ignorant, right, as well, because you can experience this multiple times and choose not to see the other part of it, right? And still choose your action.
Yeah.
Am I making sense with that?
Mm,
It makes a lot
like
of sense.
I get
when
it.
you
Double
when
take.
you think of like words, right? You have so many words that have similarities, and when you get back literally to the origin of the word, it always has to do with behavior, how it's viewed. So, like even when I said the behavior of naive versus the behavior of ignorance, that's what separates them. But they have similar meanings, meaning lack of knowledge, but it's how people perceived and created the word. So even when we describe things, like if you look at an author or writer, they use a lot of words that may not be used in um, common conversation, right? When you
Yeah.
start reading novels and shit, you'll see where, oh, what that mean? What that mean? Because that word is tailored to the behavior of the character. So
Yeah.
they come up, so they're not using. So you have different characters with similar uh traits, but not the same behavior. And what separates them is the wordplay, the vernacular of how, like when I know, like one he was on me. New York's best sellers was like twice, but not high on it, but he was on it. But it was the guy I went to school with, and when he wrote a book, he gave it to me to read, asked me what I think, and then he started breaking down his process of writing a book. And when he explained that to me, that shit fucked me up. I never thought about it like that. He was saying like each character he creates has a different vernacular associated to him. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is you talking about? He was like,
Mm-hmm.
because the behavior, he said they may have similar behavior. I mean, they may seem similar, but the words I choose to use to describe them, it defines the individuality of their behavior. And I'm like, and that shit
Mm-hmm.
was deep because I didn't know writers do that shit. I'm not a writer.
Oh,
So
I do
I
that.
was
I do
like,
that.
and then I
Mm-hmm.
started looking like, and then you start like once I got exposed to that, then I start when I read different books, I started noticing that shit. Like, oh shit, okay, now I get it. I didn't know that at first,
See, see,
and that
most
shit made
most.
me read
Uh,
and understand different. I'm like, damn, that shit deep. Like people really put a lot of effort into writing, and I never looked at it that way until I talked to somebody who did shit on a high level. You know what I'm saying? So even as we
writing.
use these words, when we describing things, that's just how we can delineate or define more, but we have to use it correctly too. So understanding the behavior of the word, not just the. So you have the definition, you have the meaning. Those are two different concepts, but both of those develops a behavior. So that's how we um, can tell the difference, or that's how we can separate the words, like somebody being ignorant versus somebody being naive, is understanding the behavior.
Right. Yeah, and I totally agree, right? Because also part of that too is the relationship with the word, right? You have to have the relationship with the word, period, right? Pause to what it means and how you experienced it,
Pause.
right?
Really do.
Yeah. I'm done with the pause stuff, but I had to say that so you know, it's different for the audience. You have to have a real relationship with the word and be able to decipher how you see the word, how you were raised, right? Because I can say a lot of things, right? Double entendres, triple entendres, right? It doesn't mean one thing is the other thing. It's how you communicate it and make sure whoever you're communicating to, you have their audience in mind as well. So your not only your message is getting across, right? If you incite to do so, but also the feeling gets across, right? And they can act on that feeling when you plant that seed, so to speak. And I think I'm saying too much, but maybe not enough.
To bring it into practical sense of what you're saying, bro. I think that sometimes the real problem comes in when the in a practical sense, the real problem comes in when we use our words to trap people instead of free them. Like you will go to somebody, to free somebody with your words is
Mm,
kind of like the goal, but sometimes a person gets trapped. It don't even have to be nice or mean. It can be something you can say something nice to someone and trap them in a cycle of trying to be that. Like you can say, "Oh, you're such a good basketball player. Why don't you try to go to the NBA?" That would be a naive statement to make to someone that probably doesn't have that kind of potential, but they continue to strive for that mark and they hurt themselves and they go through life
mm,
with what with that wasted time. But you can say something mean to somebody and motivate them and free them. Because if I told you, man, you need to start hanging with that girl, man. I done seen her do things that's not good for you. She might
mm.
say, man, you just mean, but he end up seeing that, and it's like, oh man, thank you for helping me. So it's always a blurred line between purpose, you know.
Right. And it's a part
Gary,
of who
Gary, he trying to
receiving,
take your
right?
job. He trying to take Gary's job. He trying to bust it
Oh no,
down, G.
I can take
You,
I
you
can I
gonna
own that. I this one here wonder, baby.
No, I
let
definitely would agree. Yeah, I agree. For instance, hey man, I think you're great at that, right? Basketball player. Instead of saying, you should consider basketball, how about consider basketball? If that don't work out, I think you might be able to own your own gym, right? I think you might be able to help other people get in fitness. I think you might be able to do this or that, right? I own franchisees with that too, because I see the athleticism, right, and things of that nature. Not just let's go to the NBA. There's other ways and means to create a dream and plant a seed too, right? Oh, don't hang with that girl. How about this? How about you take some time, right? You can plant a seed in a lot of different ways, and they don't have to be naive to the word. They could be ignorant if they experienced this and was thinking of other things as well without you even knowing, and they just chose otherwise, right? That's all I'm saying. Am I
So
making
I,
sense
I
on
got
this point?
you do. I got a question for Big Mix. So from that analogy you use about the basketball player,
Hmm.
what makes the intent like what makes the person naive, knowing that the person does not have the potential to actually be a pro, and telling them, you should go for the NBA? Is that what
I'm gonna
makes the
say
person naive? Like
I'm gonna
me,
make it.
I mean, because if
Oh,
you because that can work both ways, bro. You can see the potential in somebody and they
I
don't see it in themselves,
was gonna
and those words can give
say,
them it can free them because they may have
yeah,
doubt that they have the potential, but you just confirmed it or validated them, and that frees them. Or
thanks.
like I was saying, like this person ain't that good, but I'm gonna say it anyway, hype them up like that. To make it naive, I think it has to be like that
I'll give you
scenario.
an
Like,
example. Hey, the word Muggsy Bowes, right?
hmm
Muggsy Bowes, right? Somebody he not only knew, but he had one person that told him was like, man, you can go to the NBA. Even though he was the shortest person in NBA history. Man, was they hyping him up to be naive, or did he believe that? Just to your example, you know.
My answer to the word question, I respect your answer, man. But my humble as humble as I can be when I say this, I would rather not hear it because I would rather not hear it from that person who has not even been to the NBA themselves. I need a professional opinion. Like a professional opinion go way farther than just somebody walking up to me and saying, "Oh, because they seen me make maybe 3 jump shots in a row." I need a professional opinion, somebody who has
Ah,
experience, somebody who has been in the trenches, somebody who has been through the holdest, somebody who can show me.
they went through it.
But somebody,
Yeah,
yeah,
they went through it.
yeah.
Hey,
That's
I'm a
not
So
that.
living
That's
example.
not true
I'm a
all the
living
time.
example of somebody that didn't go through it, but they had
Right.
such an ear to me, and they planted a seed in me. I went and did it, right? Because they
Right.
gave me that boost, and I was like, man, you know what? You motherfucking right. Let me go and see what it requires. Nobody ever went through this and brought in my area. And I was just like, you know what? You motherfucking right. Let me
I
do
be
this shit.
wrong.
And you know
I might
what?
be
I ain't
wrong
let
about
nobody
it.
down since, right? So I was just like, man, I thank you for like, they kind of put that like they put that needle in the haystack and made me go find it too. Because I was like, man, you right. I know I can do this shit. And I not only did I do it, I made it my own way. And I brought everybody with me. And that's just a small example because how it works both ways. Was I being naive? You gotta have some ignorance or some you gotta be able to be sometimes you got to know that, man, this is not about just what people told you. Some things are just ordained, right? Some things are just a part of your focus. And I would say that's probably a better thing than a worse thing if it's in the good area of like how they're trying to encourage you. It's not trying to make you feel less than. It actually may encourage you if you got the right mindset to go get it, right? But that's all I'll say. And I'll end that with there. But yeah, go ahead. My bad.
I was saying that's a great example of someone if that's a great example. Someone encourage you,
Yeah,
and
they
you were
never, I mean, like the people who encouraged me didn't know a lot of things. I'm not going to even share it like that. But they didn't know a lot, but they understood what they saw. And I was
so
like,
when
man, thank you.
so when
You
they
know,
so when they I want to ask you a question about that experience.
yeah.
When they initiated the seed inside of you to do what you did,
Hmm.
did they continue to feed that every time they saw you, like, oh man,
Oh,
you getting
yeah.
better and better. Oh man,
Yeah. Even
you
though they
you you
didn't
you
know the
looking sharp
world,
today.
yeah, that's a
That's how I
fact.
said,
So,
Yeah. They
yeah.
so
didn't even
let
know
me
the
That can make a
let
world
me
and the
difference.
things I had to like figure out. But every time I try to like, I tapped in, of course. I tapped in, was like, man, I don't know how to navigate this, that, and the third. But let me know if you see something that I'm not like seeing. And they will always give me words of encouragement or somebody, hey, think about it like this. If you can, think about it like that. And then they put me on my mentor. And I was just like, yo,
I was
Ben,
about to
you know. And I was like, all right, say less. But if I didn't keep trying, even though it was a crazy ass dream, right? In my head, it was a crazy ass dream because I never seen nobody do it like that. And I was just like, what they put in me, I was just like, man, it wasn't a battery in my back. It was like understanding the possible out of nothing you ever seen around, you know. And I was like, you know what, I accept the challenge. And I did
and Big Mick,
it.
let me clarify, or let's get a little clarity by delineating, right? So the difference between like motivating somebody and mentoring somebody, right? And from what you said, you from that aspect, you looking for more of a mentor, someone that guides you through the process versus someone inspiring you to even find that person who can guide you through the process.
Well,
Sometimes, one person lead to another
yes.
because this
Yeah.
person motivated you to do it. Now you found the person to help you do it. But if you never been motivated to do it, you wouldn't even have been aware of
I
this other
wouldn't
person.
even been aware, right? And then I found a
Yeah,
mentor, and then from there I found coaches, multiple coaches,
yeah.
and then from there I got to learn the process, and I was just like, this is what I was trying to explain. Like this is what I knew I had to do, right? And now, to multiple thanks to God, to multiple things. I'm helping not only being a mentor, but a coach or somebody of advisement. Right? It's like, hey, man, this world is yours, but whatever you need from me, so I can play a mentor role, I can play a coach role. But it's like I have to make sure that you understand that you believe in yourself first, and whatever resources you need, I got them. But I can't like keep doing it for you. You have to be able to know the gift. The gift of God is finding the secret of figuring it out when there's no straight way to figure it out, right? And I think that's why we are, everybody's successful at this point. And I think that's the
Mhm.
enjoyment, being able to figure it out
Right.
when there's no straight way. You gotta
To
enjoy
bring it
that journey.
to to bring it to an individually practical level, and I'm gonna use myself as example. Um, the motivation I received was I haven't I'm gonna say this humbly. I don't know anyone who would mentor me because of how I measure success in me in my own life. Practically, I came from a very poor neighborhood, and I still live. I'm kind of poor now, but I don't mind. I don't think I'm poor. It's just like the way I measure success is different. It's just different
Yeah.
because I grew
Go
up in an
ahead.
area where I
Okay.
grew up. I played by myself when I was a child. I learned a lot of things all on my own. I would go places and see things by myself, and it never occurred to me that some people travel with people that show them what they're looking at. So I developed a very strange and extreme curiosity for individual expression and stuff. And as what I do, I write poetry, I sing, I do some dancing and stuff by myself. I come up with my own stuff. And I haven't found anybody who can help me channel that. I haven't found anything to help me channel it out into the world as a product. And no and frankly, when somebody says I'm weird, I don't it doesn't register with me if you even if they say that. It doesn't register as an insult to me. The way I learned about weird was walking alone down it was just walking alone so long in my life till I just started to accept my perspective above everybody else's.
So hold on. I want to go back to something real quick before we get too far away from it. You
Yeah.
said you don't know, you haven't found nobody to help you express what?
Well, express like the creativity that I discovered because everybody has a different brain. If someone says they're not creative, they haven't discovered it because I see creativity in everybody that I meet, and
Yeah.
that's just
And
how
you
I
know
think.
what, Mix? You right, man. We all were born with that, right? Sometimes it get taught out of us and we have to relearn it, to rediscover it. But we all know, like,
Yeah,
as kids,
everybody.
we had the opportunity to scribble, scrabble. We had opportunities to think imagination. Hey, this is coming there, not that, right? Regardless of how traumatic or untraumatic your experience was, we all had imaginations because our imaginations kept us out of our own realm that we existed in a reality, right? And I would say with that, you're totally right. Sometimes we can have our guards up and you miss the opportunity for a mentor or something of that nature, but they always can be around if you're open to it. I think it's harder sometimes when you get older if you're not open to it, but it's not impossible by any means. You know, I've had to seek new mentors and new coaches. The higher, I guess you can call it higher I climb, but it's not really higher I climb. I think it was just because the more I got to be exposed to, you know, and I just thank God for that because I came from my story is crazy. I mean, I know I ain't got the craziest story, but my story is it's wild, and I never looked at it like it was a downgrade. I always looked at it was an opportunity for me to like really have something to bring to the table that most people that I go to the table with never would ever experience, even know how to communicate and translate this to what we're trying to do today. And I have opportunity to share it with others and put a piece of me in them, right? Pause. I guess we were saying pause,
knew you was
but
about to
truly
say pause. I knew you
share
was
it,
about to say
share it with them, right? Yeah, ain't no pause. I mean, I'm a grown ass man, but um be able to share it with them and everybody leaves better, you know. Yeah, so I would encourage you. It's never too late to really, I would say, level with yourself to see, what opportunities are out there. If not, you know, one thing when I didn't have a mentor, I curated media around me that I wanted to ingest, right? And I played it over and over again. Where I didn't have a mentor. Of course, I had my family, and that was crazy. But I had my family, but they didn't understand the world I was in. So I curated my own media um, to really like program my mind on where I knew I had to be, where I wanted to be, where I was going to belong, right? And then how it was just a whole nother psychological game that I had to do. And I know people don't share those type of stories, but I'll be honest with you. That was something that, you got to get a little bit more in depth with yourself about and really like take action. And it sucks, when it starts and it sucks when it changes. But that was probably like the best thing that I decided for myself at that time. Hopefully, I ain't say too much. My bad word.
pause. Nah, you good. But Big Mick, I will ask you this, bro, because I'm listening to what you're saying. You say you haven't found someone to help you express or teach you how to express what you want to express. When I hear that, I hear lack of confidence in self. Right? I understand you want to someone like far as it's kind of tailored. Are you tailoring this to your craft?
Yeah, if I understand the
Like that.
question right, if I understand the question, I want you to ask it again because
So
I think I
when you made the statement, I haven't found someone to help me express what I want to express. When you made that statement, were you talking about like in life in general, like being able to express yourself, or were you talking about in within your craft, like your music or in your art?
it can be it's mainly my art because the life I
Okay,
live the life I live. I have part of my story that's kind of tragic is I got diagnosed with mental health disorders, but I don't really play into that. You know what I'm saying? But then on the other side of it is this tremendous creativity that everyone notices in me. And you're right, like I haven't met anybody who I could translate that into something that is um presentable to um I might be lying. I might have found somebody, but I didn't stick with it long enough. But just to say, I feel that even with the choir directors and writers and other authors and stuff I may have come across, I didn't I was either not ready or I was naive. Maybe I was a little naive. But as time went on, I found a way to continue to develop my craft in private. And none of that hard work was seen by other people that admire my gift. So they just assume that I got it honest from just like birth. But I have read thousands of creativity books to the point now where I can go to a page in a creativity. I can go to a page in a book and start creating instantly, like from just thought. So no one has ever been able to handle the brunt force that I come with, because no pause, but like nobody can handle the. I ain't met nobody who can just say, "Well, Morris, you need to do this idea over there, but this probably won't fit right here, and this probably what you need to focus on right now, and this is this is kind of how this looks right now, and you don't need to do this." They always like just it was always little simple suggestions like, "Why don't you just use TikTok? Why don't you just use YouTube? Why don't you just start making videos?" But my creativity is not based on TikTok is
But,
nice, but
but,
it's just
but
so
let me tell you this though. This is where the naive aspect comes in, because when we was talking about motivation versus mentoring, there is people, they may not guide you, but they're putting you in spaces or telling you to go in spaces where other people can see you. You put yourself in those spaces and you show your creativity, you might get those responses. But if you go in with the idea of, well, my creativity is too big for this, or it's not made for this, or is that, then you'll never had an opportunity for those other people to see you, because somebody might be on TikTok who can guide you the right way. They might be on X, they might be on YouTube, they might be in these places, but you're not displaying your creativity there. So they don't see you.
it's very true.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
tell you
one
this,
thing
bro.
with
Is
my
I
early
had now listen, me
okay.
doing this live. I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. You know, I had 7 PhD licensed psychologists tell me I need to go into psychology. 7
You are
people.
helping me right now.
They asked me first, do you have a degree? I'd be like, nah, man. Well, you need one. You should get one. It'd be easy for you. You'll be good at this. You built for this. You made. I mean, I'm hearing all these from 7 different people online. There's people in my real life that tell me that all the time. My mom has been telling me that since I was little. Like since I was 16, she been telling me go to school for psychology. Go to school for that. And my sister ended up going to school for psychology, and she tell me every day to do it. She got her PhD in psychology, and she told me to do it. It's just I'm stubborn as hell, and I don't feel like doing all that shit.
Well, oh,
That
to
was
have
the seed that was planted though, right? Just like
Yeah.
in my upbringing, I was told a lot of things and I accepted them all, right? I knew that I was pretty good at computers. I had the Apple II, and that mug ain't worked. Somebody donated to us. And I ain't have nothing better to do. So I figured that mug up. I'm talking about I unscrewed the stuff. I did everything until bang bang click clack. Hey man, did this mug cut on? And it was like once it cut on, I was like, man, my parents was asking me like, how did you make it work? I still don't know, you know. And then I was like, okay, now it's working. It's working for 2 days. All right, can we get some internet in the house? How much it costs? And they told me, ARD, you want to have to get a job. I'm like, all right, I'll start cutting grass or whatever I need to do, watch cars, whatever I gotta do, like how much it costs. It was like, you gotta get a phone line in here. I was like, man, how much a phone line costs to get in here? And I was like, all right, let me do it. And I literally like they ushered me, but they told me like, no, we're not gonna like provide it for you. If this is what you want to do, we'll usher you in the way, but not like, and then next thing you know, that same computer, I got it to this day, and that was one of the computers where I really learned about true technology and how the way it used to be. And we're actually going that way right now, before with AI, we're going that way back again. And people don't see it, but it was just like, man, this is crazy because I could have took that as a challenge, just like I just don't know what to do. And even though they weren't quote unquote my mentors, right? they were my first like insight, even though they didn't know what the heck that was. They just knew somebody donated to us, right? And just like our clothes and stuff, right? People donated, you know, and it eventually led me to having that mentor. And my dad is so cold. He was like, ARD. My dad was so cool. He was like, "Man, I understand what you want to do. I understand that I can't actually be in that world with you, but I found somebody that you might like, that might be able to explain it." And I was just like, "Man, thank you." And he hooked me up with a mentor, and he always took me to this mentor. And it was like, and they worked together and everything, man. Never ashamed. That's why I'm so proud of my dad. Like, when you talking about a stand up individual, like I can only be a quarter of the man that he was when he didn't even have to do it. He chose to. But I'm going back to this situation. It's like, like you can find a lot of things, just by figuring it out and scrapping it together in a way. But I think our mentality has to be something too, because I could have gave up seeing that nobody in my house was never even interested in that type of stuff. Nobody was interested in music. Nobody was interested in technology. Nobody was interested in how to connect all these different worlds together before. And I was. And they allowed me opportunity, to do so. And they didn't just do it with me. They allowed a lot of my siblings to do so, whatever they were interested in. And I was like, man, how do I be a parent like that? You know, how do I actually forget being a parent? How do I even pay it forward to people that may not even have that? How do I be a spark of like a light bulb or, a spark of light? Because I mean, you can always find the pettiness and negativity and shit like that. And I'm with it. Cool. It's whatever. It's just not what promotes the things that I'm into all the time. So I would
let
say
me
this big mix, man. Keep your eyes open and don't be afraid of change, especially when it's in the right direction. And on that
let me
note, man, I apologize. I
get,
said a lot. Um,
let me hear from James real quick. Let me show.
yeah,
We
I
ain't
was
got
gonna
Commander
say,
on the
man, I
panel
was
tonight.
gonna drop, you know, but yeah, I got you.
It's 3 o'clock. Y'all know that's my during the week. I'm gonna try to get off here by 3 o'clock. During the week. On the weekend, I stay on a little later, but I be having to get up, and I be time after being in zombie mode. But usually when Commander on the panel, I let her run the show from here. But this is my time,
Oh,
people.
the
I
big
appreciate
commando, she
everybody.
in the chizza. Yee.
Yeah, y'all know when Commander come up, he's the DH. She's a designated hitter when I jump down. But my DH, we ain't playing the teams this week that we need a DH, so she chilling, doing her thing down there in the chat. Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you so much, man. Shout out to Commander, man. That's the lady of the nine. I
Hey,
appreciate Commander so much. He do so much great
straight
shit over
out
here for
though.
free, man. That's I'm telling you, man. She watch my
Hold
back for free,
on,
man. She ain't got to do it, but
man. Pull up
I'm
though.
telling you, man.
You did go ahead and park the whip. You did click
Uh,
click.
yeah, that's why she the
We got
lady of the
valet
nine,
outside, man. You ain't even got to
man.
park
She
it.
hold me down. Yeah, she really do. All my nines do. Rach hold me down. My brother, my 33 brother. Man, ARD hold me down. Big Mix, you hold me down too, man. Shout out to all y'all, man. Y'all know y'all nines to me.
Thank you.
James, you want to say something, bro? You been quiet for a minute. My bad, bro. I didn't get you in the conversation. That's my bad. James remind me of me because I sit on the panel all day and be quiet and wait for my opportunity to talk. That's just I like his etiquette, man. He a cool dude, man. Shout out to James. Hey, make sure y'all go sub up to James too. He either be over there gaming or he be having some deep theological conversations, man. You can learn some shit from James, bro. Shout out to James, man. Check James out, man. He be everywhere too. You can catch him on other panels, man. James a good dude, man. Appreciate him,
Facts.
bro.
Hey, she said she pulling up like Chick-fil-A. Nah. Hey, yeah, on that note, man. I definitely gotta make sure everything is everything. But word, you already know I got you, my mains.
Man, I
Yes, sir.
appreciate you, bro.
Hey, Big
Appreciate
Mix, man, you got it, man. And if you can
it. Hey,
connect with me offline on my social media or anything, man, I'd be dope. I love to support you and everything that you're doing. And you know, big bust down, you did. Hey, we already connected, so we good
Yeah,
to
right.
go.
What's your social media account name?
A resilient dad,
Okay, resilient dot.
DAD. And I ain't trying to put my joint on this, but you know, I'll love to connect and follow with you. Follow up with you.
Okay, if I find you, I'll send you a DM.
Oh yeah,
What
no
up,
worries. Where it
Nines?
can connect you to.
what up,
What up,
man?
Nines? What up, Nines? I came up in case if you guys want to stay, I can stay if you guys like
All right
aren't
then, man.
done or want
To the
to. It's
time we
up to
can't
you
be
guys.
stopped. Oh wait, Commander here.
If you guys were like,
Let me mess around and find out.
I was busy, so I
Nah,
was
she ain't
like
here.
in
She
and
just there.
out. Can you guys hear me?
I can.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can
Hello?
hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, I
they can't
can.
hear me. Okay, let me go and come
We
back.
can hear you.
No, they
We
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
I
Anybody
think
We
here?
can
everybody
hear
can hear
you.
you.
We can.
ARD is
That's-
lost. Watch, talk to ARD and ask him.
Do you hear Commander ARD? Ain't
I think
nobody
he can't
responding.
even hear anybody.
I
We have
think his
lost
mic on mute. His mic on mute. Them,
ARD.
James, everybody mic on
Reporting from the Bay. Or what does he say? I forgot.
mute.
What does he say? What's his saying?
I think I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and go down and go to bed.
You're gonna throw yourself on the floor, James? Like
I'm
that?
going to bed.
Oh, okay. Good night,
Yeah,
James.
yeah.
Get some rest. God
Good
bless.
night.
Then he's about to put his cover over his head and be snoring like a mug. He sound like he about to be out.
Yeah, I'm tired.
He already got the feet jumping over the headboard, don't you?
I think he just came in so like he could be rocked to sleep. Like there's certain channels. Sometimes I'll try to find a certain channel to like go to sleep.
That's
And
what I
then,
try to provide.
but then oftentimes I think that my voice here is the one that if it were me,
Yo.
like if he can't hear, if it were me, I'd be like, oh shit, Commander fucked it up because everyone's like smooth, low, and then Commander's like, "Woo," like yapping like a chihuahua,
You don't
just kind of
sound that
loud,
bad. Chihuahua.
just like a little bit louder,
A little bit louder.
little bit louder, louder. But it sounded like you guys were I wasn't fully paying attention, but it sounded like it was good.
I think it was a good conversation. It was a good conversation. We anytime we get into like concepts, we get into like the meaning and the definition, and I think it gave me a unique opportunity to go deeper into how the meaning of words develop. Talk about the behavior aspect associated to the word. I don't think I ever did that, but when I say meaning,
Yeah.
that's a lot of times what I allude to is word have a definition. That's the foundation of the word, but the way it's used or associated, behavior is an aspect to separate similarities of words, like ignorant and naive. Like when is it appropriate to define this term versus this term?
Like
It
I
develops.
know. Oh, sorry.
I know
I'm
I'm
Like I know words are important, like in the definitions, but like sometimes I don't know if it's my ADHD. I get lost in the words and the definition. Like I get lost in it, and I'm more like I do better with I don't know, like the purpose or what do you do, like more of the
okay.
behavior versus what it's called.
Yeah.
Like just tell me like the things. I don't care what it's called. Just tell me, how do I protect myself or look out for signs or yeah.
And see, like even creating the title, like I could have easily said it's not the nice people, it's the ignorant, but I chose naive, you know, because what naive represent. And I felt like using that term, people can associate the concept of being naive versus nice versus ignorant, you know. Um,
Well,
so,
sometimes
you
I
know,
feel like stupid, like bro, I'm still being nice to you even though you did this and this, but I still have kindness and compassion for you and I'm like letting you off easy. I know what you're
and
doing. I
see,
was stupid to fall for it, but I'm still giving you grace.
and see, that's like even that aspect, right? Like, like being nice to me is like, say if somebody put me in a situation and I know, okay, it happened, you took advantage of me, fine. Now, me being nice is me not retaliating or doing nothing back to them. Me being naive is still interaction.
Yeah, still letting them get
You
away
see,
with it.
yeah, let them, continue it. That's me being naive versus me being nice is letting it go, walking away. Not
Yeah.
retaliate, but being naive is me continuing to associate with this person and letting it go and not retaliating because we can being naive. So that's where I was using that concept or developing that concept because just having conversations, oftentimes people, like you said, I'm doing something nice and they took advantage. I'm just a kind person, and ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just where you become naive at is doing it for wrong people.
Yeah, I recently did help the wrong person, but whatever. You live, you learn. Like
Mhm.
I could have done really ugly, like bad, what'd you say, retaliation, but I still kept it cool. Like where other people are like, nah, don't do that. Like tell
Mhm.
them off, do this, get back at them, use whatever tools you have, like leverage to like make their life miserable. But that to me, it doesn't help me. Like it really does
Yeah.
nothing for me. So I would rather. It just depends on the situation, because I could be petty, but yeah, it depends.
Dude, I got I'm sorry, Commander. I couldn't. I was on mute when you was asking me to see if you could. I was on mute. I had a question for you about the protection thing. Um, do you as a woman?
Where do you? If you have to drop off, drop off, and then I'll close it out here shortly after Big Mix's question or his answering my question.
Okay. Oh, that's short.
Oh, maybe I should save it for tomorrow. It seems like I'll be the only one up here with you,
Oh,
Commander.
you
So
scared? You scared, Big Mix? You talk
no,
big, but you
no,
scared.
no. I'm not
I'm
afraid.
just
I just
kidding.
Oh, I was gonna ask a question. Is in the context of what we was talking about, um, do you as a woman feel more threatened physically in public? Like it seemed like I was listening, and it seemed like you want to protect yourself from being hurt by people. And I always ask this question about women. As a man, I say as a man, I don't feel physically threatened a lot, but mentally, emotionally, I kind of hide because of the social norm. But I noticed you have a very well to me, you seem to be way more vocal than most women, and you seem to be confident and stuff.
That can get me in trouble though sometimes, being too vocal. Like sometimes less is more, and like I need to shut up sometimes. But it's in my
No,
personality, like
I, I just want
to
I
talk.
just asked do you I just want to know, does it feel like Does it feel like more physical threat or more mental, emotional threat when you
Well, the
feel like you want to
protection
protect yourself?
that I was referring to, well, there was two, right? Earlier on when Melo was speaking, the protection was who's gonna speak up, who's gonna speak up and protect like
Oh,
but the question right now to word with like the naive and the being kind is like protection from falling to people taking
yeah,
advantage of you, like not
yeah,
in the physical way, but like all the other ways.
all the other way.
Like either like take advantage of your time, your money, your
All that.
kindness, your that sort of thing.
Yeah, I understand that as a man, I've been taken advantage of, hey, several times because of my kindness. But then like I don't the way I feel about women that get that you said like you don't want nobody to take advantage of you. I don't I try the reason why I don't have a girlfriend is because um I think like women deserve to be to feel um to feel more than just
Stoic. What up,
I was like
Stoic? Sorry, turn Stoic enter the chat. What up, Nine?
oh so I was about to
Sorry,
get
go
off
on.
here anyway. I was about to get off here anyway
What do you feel
because
about women? No, I'm curious because
oh
I've heard
I
people say stuff about women in relationships and why they don't want to be in a relationship or
I
even
know
try to start one.
I grew up around women that were very kind women and very nice women, and they, you know, like Southern women, you know, like they don't, they very much less confrontational than people, the women that I met in like urban areas. So what I discover is that sometimes as a man, I come off as physically intimidating before I even get to say anything. And that's why I asked you, like, I don't like when I approach a woman, I approach her with my words first. I try to, you know, be I try to see what she
Like
feels
feel her
instead
out,
of
like kind of
yeah,
feel
feel
out the
like
situation.
yeah, usually yeah, just like that. And usually it's not usually it falls flat because they're not used to a man initiating such a emotional or or mental stimulation, and that's why I don't really try to approach them with the physical first because but some women I know some women
Women
seek
like
that.
the mental, right? Some women really like mental stimulation.
I noticed that like I have great conversations with women, but I never really approach them with the dating because I quickly fall into the friend zone and usually I try to level the playing field for them by you know just you know talking about emotions and stuff. But I don't know.
But
So
a
my
girl could really like you, like really like the conversation and really start to like you more. And maybe you're not taking the next step just to, I mean, even if you get turned down, who cares? You know? I mean, unless you're like really concerned about losing a friend and it might be weird
yeah
later, but why not
yeah
take the
that's how.
chance if you really like the person? I would try to
Hmm.
word it and take the chance, or try to like you said, feel it out. Maybe drop a little hint here or there and see the
Yeah
reaction.
yeah
Because especially like with like the internet and people meeting online and talking, like not meeting each other in person first, I feel like people can really get to know each other and like build something. I mean, obviously you can't build everything just off of internet, but it's a start.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a start. There's plenty of people who have
Right.
been in a relationship and gotten married online. There's a lot of
Hmm.
failure ones too, but
Yeah, I have a great shot this towards women because I respect women. Like when I see a woman, I quickly begin to size her up to see what kind of woman she is. It's and every woman is not the same to me. Like I notice where they stand. I notice their confidence. I notice their day to day. I can see like, oh, she dressed up today. She must be doing something uh uh more important to her. And then, sometimes I try to talk about that, but then I fall into the friend zone so quickly. So
mhm.
I'm patient. Maybe I've been too patient. Maybe I've been too naive about. Maybe I was too nice. Maybe I was just thought of as weak because I was being nice at the time. But I haven't.
Yeah.
Just overall, I haven't built like a romantic quality of language with women because it just doesn't. It just happens to be that women like to talk to me for the
The
for the
mental stimulation.
yes, and I have many women in my life like that, and I'm okay with it. But sometimes, sometimes I don't have the romantic language, like because I haven't developed it. Like I said, well, hey baby, hey baby,
Hey,
I might
baby.
say,
And some
hey
girls
baby,
don't like to be called baby.
right, and then it's like, who you talking to?
Yeah, why you call
Uh,
me baby?
and then it said like oh, then like if I say you look good today, it said oh, what you mean? I say, "You look good today." And then I get nervous and I just be like, "Oh, she didn't get my compliment that quick." So then I fall back. I was like, "What you doing?" You know,
I don't think there's
and
anything wrong with saying you look good today or you look nice. I
I
don't see
see,
anything wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like I try to be more creative, but I don't want to get too creative to throw them off.
Did
That's
you see what
all.
Stoic said? He said every villain was a nice person because yeah, that
Oh,
can be true because sometimes, right? People get tired of being nice and then they want to try something new and become the villain. I have
mm,
tried to become like, oh, I'm not going to be nice anymore, but this is sometimes it's just in my character. Like I can get
mm,
mean, obviously I can put up boundaries, but I can't be all the way a villain. Not like that.
yeah. I tried to be. I thought about being. I had got all hyped up to be a villain one day. And then I went outside and I said, "It is too nice out here to go do that." Man, the sun was shining and
That's too funny.
I
But
had
like
put on a
sometimes I
whole
say try it a little bit. Like sometimes you can't be too nice with the girls, with the ladies. Like sometimes try to hold back or be a little bit more stoic.
uh, stoic.
Hold back a little bit. Hold back a little bit.
Yeah, don't sing. Don't be singing to them in the streets. Just walk up and be cool with it. Like, hey, how you doing? It's just, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, you
My
gotta
name is
work on your
Morris. My
riz.
name is blah blah blah. My name is blah blah blah. What's your blah blah blah? And then
My name is
you
Riz.
know,
My name is Swag.
all that.
I feel like I don't know, like it'd be cool if there was like a good coaching program for men, not like the Andrew Tate type coaching kind of like not that stuff. Like
But yeah,
some
like
real
romantic language, like how to
good
cool.
mhm.
I was a student athlete in school, going to school. I focused completely on it, and it's a tragic story happened in my town a few days ago. I don't know if I should talk about it. It was very
But
tragic.
Can I interject real quick? They
Yes,
do
Sure.
got a
coach.
cool they do got a cool coaching program out here for men. They just don't want to fuck with it because I ain't telling them they victims. You know,
You
but
know, teaching men like how to approach women, but like the word, it would be more like you'd work on what, like their confidence and stuff like that.
yeah, you build self esteem and confidence because every woman different. Every woman don't respond to the same thing, and it's not a set thing what women respond to. But is what you can is how you identify with how women respond. And a lot of times you can't do that because you don't have the self esteem. And like we was talking about the tools, building that self esteem and confidence comes in the ability to do something. So even building that up, you might have to work on your vernacular. You might have to work on your listening skills. But the more you work on those tools, it's easier to talk to women because the only thing I ever really did was listen to women. That's all I ever did is just listen.
Sometimes too, I think like sometimes I see people where I'm like, "Ooh, if you just change the way you dress, like get a haircut, like even like their physical, like their first impression."
hmm But
Hmm.
then, but see,
I
even that,
always
right?
think women.
Like
I,
when you look at
oh,
like particular, like me, I like looking scruffy. My wife loves when I look scruffy. When I clean up, she loves that too. But it turned her on when I grow my beard out. You know what I'm saying? When I look rough. Like when you said, bro, I don't know how. I think you might. Are you taller than me?
Big
I'm
Mix.
five. I'm five. I sound tall, but I'm not tall. I'm 5'8".
Okay, yeah, you short. You're short. I'm
Short.
6 foot and a quarter, right? I can give him my quarter.
I'm like
But
just. I'm
anyway,
like just right for like. I'm
so
just right for like a boxing.
my
But
my
even like a
phys-
beard. Oh, sorry, my bad.
my physical presence is intimidating. Not only the women but the men. But it's the women that love that shit. You know what I'm saying? So some women might be like, you need to, be look more approachable, and some women be like, nah, I like that shit. You look like you can't be approached. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife like
Yeah,
that
that's
Yeah,
shit.
true.
She
stuff
like
like that.
my wife like I love when you walking out here looking like the what she called me, the Punisher. Like you walk around looking like the Punisher, like you just about to eliminate something or do something to somebody. She love that shit, man.
I
Hmm.
just think like, okay, a beard, like, okay, maintain your beard, like oil it, trim it right, like. But I mean, you're right. Everybody has their own, like their own, what do you call it? The way they like people or whatever. But like let's say women, like to teach a young lady how to dress, maybe like be still in their feminine but modest type thing,
hmm
so she's not always attracting maybe the wrong kind of people, the wrong kind of attention.
hmm
Hmm. I tend whenever I don't know like I'm the type of guy. I like women that do that have the makeup and the nails done, hair done, uh,
I don't
relaxed
like all that.
style. I like
I
it.
don't,
I don't. I,
I
I, I
don't
like
like
to
it.
see them do it. It's creative,
Like for
and I've
me, it's like
seen.
when all that shit come off, if you look different, I don't want to see it.
Uh-oh.
I want to see the
You know,
original person.
what I mean. Man. I don't want no woman like that don't look good when she
What what's that new challenge? The
take it off.
when they be doing the makeup challenge, the transformation, whatever that shit is.
I don't
I be
know.
like grah.
I don't know.
Oh man, you ain't never seen that shit.
Uh-uh.
The makeup transformation. They be like grah, some shit like that. And then they move their hand and they go from makeup to I mean no makeup to makeup, and I'm like, oh shit, that's witchcraft. I don't care what nobody
Uh-oh.
says. That's
There's
Yes,
a
it is.
it's
there's a
alchemy.
guy on here who streams live, and then I thought it was a her, because the part I didn't see until after he had already done all the makeup and put the hair. I it He sounded like a girl and looked like a really pretty, gorgeous woman. And he says that he's not trans. He says, "Oh, I'm not trans." But but if you see the before and after, like the makeup does wonders. It does
Make
wonders.
a
Like you
boy
can
look
really trick
like a
someone.
girl. Yeah, like them Asian people do that shit out cold, man. With all that
Oh
white
my
shit,
god, I love. Oh, if I could find me a Harajuku Barbie girl.
man.
I saw them before, man. They are so pretty to me. They just sit on the. They just be
Oh,
out there in Japan, man. I wouldn't do nothing wrong to her, I just, be like, hey, you look
I don't
like,
trust you, big man. Yeah, this up. Stoic, what up, my nine?
mm,
My bad,
man.
bro. I was sitting here fighting with my dog, literally. Damn dog bit me.
Stoic's turning down all the women right now. He's like a woman magnet, and then he's got like he swats them away.
Be gone with the hag. So, you
Well,
know.
can you also attract the wrong kind of woman?
Of course.
Mhm,
You probably gonna attract more
mhm.
wrong than right.
Yeah, especially if I attracted some women that, oh my goodness, I got, uh, but y'all, I gotta go. I love you. I gotta go. I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up.
Oh,
I
I thought that's
appreciate.
what he was telling the girls. All right, good night, Big Mix.
Good
And
night.
to answer Stoic question, because, you know, people look at, you have a segment of people who look at people being nice as an opportunity. That's why. When people see other people being nice, they see it as an opportunity. You just have people like that in the world. So that's something that ain't going away. It's always gonna be like that. So like what Commander was saying, like what can we do? You have to take the time and look for the intent of why people do shit they do. Your intent tells you everything. Like when Big Mix was saying when people he had a problem with when he was being nice, people think he had an agenda. Well, technically it's true. If you being nice to somebody, you do have an agenda. And the agenda might not be to hurt them, but if there is an agenda, you are intently doing something. You have an intent behind what you're doing, even if it's just to do something. I want to do something nice for somebody today. You see some random person and you do something nice for them, you still had an agenda. You set out to do something nice for somebody. It don't have to agenda. That's another one of those words. When people hear it, they associate it with something negative, but it's not.
Yeah, people do think it's weird, like if you're too nice. It's true.
Mm. And I tell people,
They're
shit, I'm nice to you
scared.
because it make me feel good. I done told people that I'm only being nice to you because it make me feel good.
Well, sometimes it's like, well, I like you, so if I like you, I'm being nice. Like I'm being
Mhm.
extra nice, maybe because I like you or I can relate to you or whatever.
I'm
So
trying to
I
build
might
with
go
you,
out of my
shit.
way.
I'm trying to build some. I mean, I be nice to people who I'm trying to build a relationship with. Is that wrong? Like, wouldn't those be the ideal people to be nice to? The ones you're actually trying to establish some type of, if it's business, if it's social, why wouldn't I be nice to you? You know,
Yeah.
do I have an agenda behind it? Yeah, I'm trying to build a relationship and being nice. Now, is your job to identify that? But I can tell you, I'm being nice to you because I'm trying to build with you, and I think it's the proper thing to do. You know, people like you said, people I like. I like being nice to the people I like. That's just who I am. Now, people may do the same thing for different reasons, but it's up to us as individuals to be able to identify. That's why I said look for the intent. Is this just this person's nature being nice? And since we are interacting, they being nice to me, but this is just who they are? Or is this a person who be nice to get close to people to stab them in the back? You can look through a
Yeah,
person's, behavior, look through their history. That's why we
like the
telling people
love bombing.
take your time with people. Everything don't have to be instant.
Take your
You know what I'm saying?
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because whether you're nice to me or not, I'm still gonna side eye you. I'm still gonna kind of, I'm gonna wait. I'm still gonna give it some time.
So check this out. I'm not gonna disclose. Like, the people who know, you know. But I had went through something on here with somebody I was close to. Right? We had a little dialogue back and forth. And it was a person who was cool. Both of them hit me up in an email. It was like, even the way you handled that is, you are what I thought you were, and that's what you always shown. And they was like, they was looking for an opportunity and wanted to see if I come out of character, and I didn't. And that solidified what they thought about me. And I was like, you know, that's cool you shared, but um, I can only do me and be me. But through that
Oh, it was like a
situation,
positive thing?
yeah, it was a positive thing because it was like I could have went left or right, but it's one thing I always say, like, when I'm cool with somebody, man, I'm cool with them. Even if we fall out, man, I ain't here to hurt you. You know, I might clarify some stuff, but I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not gonna attack you. But I defend myself. And they was like, well, that's what you did. They was like, I was expecting you go left and right, but you didn't. You stayed straight. You just said what you had to rebuttal, and you move forward. You know, and they say even now, like, I don't be hearing you, you know, dissing the person. Nothing. I'm like, bro, I'm cool. I liked it, that person. You know, like, I feel like this. We ain't really cool until we have a disagreement. I used to say until we have a fight. Because if you can have a fight and reconcile, then that's probably gonna be your people. I done had fist fight with a couple people, and we cool to this day, you know. And then I had fist fight with people, and they felt like they was enemies for life, you know. So
Yeah.
you'll see who you really cool with. But now I say disagreement because, especially on social media, because it's like you can be cool with somebody on here up until y'all have a disagreement about something that don't really affect neither one of y'all. Like, who the president is. And I've seen people fall out because they got different of opinions of who should be president, who shouldn't. Like, that shit crazy to me. Like, president don't give really a fuck about y'all as
Mhm.
individuals. You know what I'm saying? Y'all never meet the president, but y'all interacting with one another. Y'all wouldn't throw that away for some shit that you'll never. Like, that shit crazy.
Yep, I've had some people that, okay, wait a minute. Like, you turned on me. Oh, you love me so much, you this, you that, and then all of a sudden, just one day they turn on you.
Yeah.
But you can
It's a
tell,
bit.
like, right, if they how they act with other people, what
Mm-hmm.
they do with other people, like,
And
it's a possibility it's gonna happen to you. What's up, Missy Mod? How you
Missing
doing?
my what up though? I don't even see him yet. Probably ain't pop up. I got a delay. But I got a saying, right? That that's equivalent to that. Like, when you see somebody do something, it's only a matter of time till they do it to you. It's only a matter like when you see somebody consistently do something. I say consistently do something, it's only a matter of time. Like when you say possibility, I think it's a matter of time. But like you said, it's a high possibility, or it's a possibility in general, that if they did it to four other people, they'd do it to you too. That's just their character. That's who they are, you know. And you see that even on this app, man. Like I be looking through some of like I'm not in those sectors no more, but I be looking like, why do y'all be so shocked when this person do it? They done did it like 5 times, but now it's your
Right.
turn. That's it.
Now
It's
it's
only
your
your
turn.
turn.
You thought you were the
Yeah,
exception. Like,
right.
you thought you were the homie. Nothing's gonna happen to you.
hmm
No, wrong.
hmm
It's, you became an enemy too, for absolutely no reason or some dumb reason, just some little minute thing. Now you're the enemy. It's crazy.
But see,
But
when a person is driven like that, that's why I was saying, like, these people, like a lot of these beef sectors, they actually came together through trauma bonding, right? They had an enemy, and once that enemy is gone, they ain't got no more enemies. But that's what they built on. So guess what they got to do? They start finding enemies within.
oh yeah, they turn on each other. I've seen that a lot.
hmm
Right?
hmm
They turn on each other.
hmm
It's
They start
inevitable.
making enemies within. Yep.
Yep, that's true. But I try to keep my distance. By the way, Mr. Blonde, if you're listening, because I know he gave us the email, you're always welcome. You're always invited to hit the link. If you don't get an email from me, that's just because I don't message people. I don't do any outside messaging because he said, like whenever we want to invite him,
Yeah,
if we're
yeah,
we're
you
doing
always welcome.
something, a certain segment, and we really want him here, something to help. But yeah, if you don't get an email, it's nothing personal. I don't message people. But we always
Yeah,
want you here.
yeah, you always welcome, bro. Shit, I challenge all y'all, everybody who listen to the show. Shout out to the replay supporters too. I do not say that enough. I thank y'all because I be having like 6, 7. I be struggling to get to 10 people in the chat, but I be getting over 100 views. So I appreciate all the people who watch it on the replay too, man. Y'all rock stars, bro. I appreciate y'all, man. But yeah, I start challenging all y'all to start being normal and regulars on the panel, man. I mean, we don't, like Amanda said earlier, I don't bite unless it's the weekend. But I don't bite, man. We be up here chilling, man. It's a place where you can express yourself. I'm about to create a new hashtag. Well, I don't know. I gotta look and see if it's already created. If it's not, I'm gonna create it. But it might be created because it's song. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh yeah,
so
I
we're
was
gonna
trying to
do
get
that.
Dolly to come up. Yeah,
Yeah.
because sometimes it could be intimidating because you don't know. You know how like you know
Watch
how
the
when
topic.
sometimes like you type in the chat and
Yeah.
sometimes it feels like you can't ever even say anything in a chat because right away you get jumped on or like it's a
Yeah.
problem or you get misunderstood. I mean that happens on panels too,
And
and
that
it could be.
I do my best to try to translate, because like I see where a lot of times where the disconnection be, and I try to feel that with understanding. Like earlier, it was just simply two people um giving their own personal experience, and those experiences collide because of perception, you know. So I mean
Yeah,
and then it was more comparing. So that's where the disconnection can come. And once something is disconnected, you know,
yeah. Sometimes people can feel like they're they're being dismissed, right? When
yeah,
then you tell
yeah,
them your experience, then it feels like you're dismissing them, but maybe that's not the person's intention. They're just kind of
intent,
adding into the
yeah,
conversation based on their experience.
yeah, that's just how it's read or perceived. That's how people read it.
Mhm. Yeah.
But see, even that is like, even the process of that's why I say like, man, comprehension is a true skill you acquire over time because part of comprehending, like, you have to dismiss your own emotions to really intake information. Because, like, if I'm hearing something about history and it does not go with what I think or feel or believe, I'm not going to really intake what it's saying. I'm going to start dismissing aspects of it. Like, well, this ain't happening because this, and that's what happens a lot with people in their own personal experience. It's like, if you Like if I grew up as a black person, right? Say if I grew up in the hood and I didn't see white people struggle, and only thing I seen about white people was on the TV, and they live in this big happy shit. And then what I see on TV about black people is the opposite. So now when I come into the world and I see white people will talk to them and they be like, I struggle too. I'll be like, man, that's bullshit. You ain't struggle like me. Your struggle wasn't like that. That's what occurred. And vice versa, right?
Right.
Vice versa too. That shit happened with white people. There's some white people that tell you they had it better than black people.
Well, yeah,
And it's
there's I
like
mean, obviously the stuff they show on TV or whatever online, it's not it's not it's like not the same.
it's propaganda. But then
Yeah,
you
it's not
look at
how
what's
all people live.
right. And then you look at like what's socially accepted. Like why does this even occur? Why is this not a problem to everybody? You know, And a lot of times, like this is just reality. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but a lot of times in life, when shit don't affect you, it don't affect you. So, I mean, as like white people know it's propaganda and the stereotype, all that shit is created to downgrade the black people in general, but it don't bother them. So, I mean, what they gonna do? And you got a regular ass white person who working a 9 to 5. Fuck, they gonna do about the situation? I mean, we could talk about it. We can, you know what I'm saying, but like, what they gonna do? So then you got to look at it like, okay, and then I got my own struggles, my own shit I got to deal with. So this what happened on all sides, right? So people will be like, well, this person don't fight this battle, this person. I mean, shit, everybody got to fight their own, but it's battles that we all fight. That's what I focus on. It's the battles that we all fight. Like me personally, this is what I be trying to tell. Like I don't like from my black experience, I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it, right? White person, black person. I don't really care. That's why I don't talk to y'all about it. I don't talk about black experiences, but I do talk. Like if I'm around black people, I'm gonna talk about the experience. But anybody else, I don't care because it's not the experience. Now, if we sharing stories or if I'm explaining something, I do that. But like when who was that? I think Speak asked me about like reparations. I'm not talking about reparations to no white people, to no Mexican, to nobody who ain't involved in receiving this shit. I don't see the point in talking. Well, what about I don't care what other people. I'm just being me. I'm just I ain't saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that shit worked for me. I don't see the point because me caring what somebody else feel about the experience that I had is to me it's like I'm setting myself up for failure. And what am I looking for? Your empathy? I don't need that. So why else?
If they could do something about it, but like if like
Yeah, like if we
what's his
talking
name said, well, you can't vote on that. But like if I could vote on it, it would be something I would vote for. And if it was something we could vote for, then I would definitely, if I was black, I'd want to share whatever knowledge I have, my experience with other people so that they could vote for it. But
but I
that's
will
not
only
even
share with
something.
I will only
Uh-huh.
share it with people who are really interested in talking about it because
Right.
it's emotions involved. And I don't
Right.
expect you to care about the way I feel about something. And a lot of the conversations will come through emotions. It's not fucking logical. You know what I'm saying? It's some shit we feel. It's not something that we think. So this conversation is gonna be like that. So if they really interested, yeah. But then you have some people who just interact in the conversation just to tell you wrong.
Mhm.
And those conversations, like I said, how you gonna tell me something you ain't never experienced? Like you can read about it, but if you ain't me, you can't tell me how my shoes fit on my feet. You just can't. You can tell
Yeah,
me
and
how a
vice
size
versa.
12 fit. Right. So, and that's why I said I don't be, when white people talking about their issues and problems, I just listen. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this, it fucked me up. Like I'm just being honest. I got this one white homeboy. This is my dog. This is my ace. This my brother. You know what I'm saying? He was telling me like he grew up poor. He was living in a trailer park most of his life. Um, he struggled. And we was just talking one day, and he was telling me like how fucked up it felt not to be white and successful. Like how that really feels like because everything you look at white is great, it's big, and it's like that's not for me though. And he was just expressing himself, and then he said you try to relate to people who going through the same thing, but they can't relate to you because y'all don't look the same, and that shit fucked me up. And I'm like, damn, it was just a whole different perspective, and then I appreciate it. So like from that experience, I grew understanding. And then I start meeting other people like that and realize like this shit is normal. Like this is just like because you don't really if that's not my perception, then I don't see it. But it took me to listen to him and not
Yeah.
not
You
perceive
could
what
be
he was
black
saying.
and be more successful than a white person.
Hmm. Yeah. I know a whole bunch of black people. Shit. I'm successful than a whole bunch of white people I know. I'm more successful than a whole bunch of people. I'm more educated than a lot of white people I know.
When I went to like a old all white, like they were all Caucasian, this town. Like I was surprised because like where I came from, the gardeners were Mexican, like the housekeepers were, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody there was white. So there was white gardeners, white housekeeper, like all the jobs obviously were occupied by Caucasians. Jobs that people say, "Oh, Caucasians wouldn't do." But they will do if that's like the environment. I don't know. Like I was just like it was weird to me to see like a white gardener or landscaper just based
See,
on
I
where I
mean,
came from.
my lawn service and my landscaper, they both white.
Yeah. See,
They
that's
both
where
white.
you live.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to say like people say, "Oh, white people won't do those jobs." Yeah, they
Mm.
do. It just depends it just depends where you live, what the
Yeah, it
situation
depends.
is.
And see, like I think everybody like it's like a social construct almost when they think white successful. I know a lot of poor white people hit in a D. I mean, shit. I know a lot of poor Asians. I ain't gonna say poor, they all right now. But they grew up with me and we was fucked up. We was all fucked up, you know. Even back at home, when I was growing up as a kid, I ain't know how fucked up people were. And we used to barter shit. Like different people grew different shit. People you trading fruits and vegetables and shit all the time. That shit crazy. Like that's how I grew up. So and then like now that I look at it, I'm like, damn, we had everything we needed, but we wasn't really modernized. Like we had a record player, we didn't even have a tape player or we had a fucking record player. Everything was record up until I was 5. Then we got a tape player. But we ain't I think my mom bought my grandmother her first color TV.
Missing Mom says she's white and she's from the hood. She grew up in the hood.
Yeah, that's what and like so even
And even
talking
hoods are
about
different.
yeah, but see like this though, even talking about struggle is universal, man. Everybody can struggle. That shit, nobody is exempt to that. Nobody is exempt to the struggle of life. So me discounting her struggle, saying her struggle wasn't nothing compared to mine because I'm black. Then I mean, a lot of times that's dishonest. I know people who came from the Middle East who came from war. Like he was literally getting saved from being buried from houses that got blew up. They in the basement hiding, and the house collapsed on them. Took them 3 days to get them out. Like I know people like that who went through shit like that. And I can't say my struggle was no worse than theirs. Like they had to flee the country. I ain't never had to do that shit because of war. Can you imagine that? Like it's
Right.
one thing to say I understand the historical aspects and all that, but is you when you have you can call it a level of empathy or whatever you want to call it. You realize like yeah, you got struggles, but other people do too, and you can appreciate theirs because you know how hard yours are. That's how I am. Like I know I went through some shit in life, so I can only imagine what other people went through. And some of the
Yeah.
things that I went through that wasn't hard for me might have been hard for them, and vice versa. Some of the shit they went through might be easy, but it might have been hard for me. That's just how it is.
Well, like Plastic African from last night, like all the stuff he's gone through with
Hmm.
war and things like that. You could tell really
Yeah,
has affected him.
yeah. I mean, man, if y'all only knew, y'all only fucking know.
Yeah,
Crazy
everyone has their own
shit going
experience.
on.
Even within that, not everyone that's been in the military has his same experience.
Yeah, a lot of
Everyone
people
has
ain't
their
seen
own.
action, but when you see action, man, that shit, and you got a heart, like, man, that sounds like a lot of people. go there, go through some shit, come out looking for Jesus, looking for God, looking for whoever could help them um condense the shit they just experienced. Like I just need some fucking help. Like you done had me go through all this shit. I'm saying arms and legs blew off, and now I got to go back into civilian life. Like man, this shit. And then you go back into civilian life, you get no form of respect. Like you know what the fuck I went through, so you can be disrespectful to me. Like that shit, it got to be fucking is mind warping. Like
Yeah.
if you only knew what I had to go through for you to disrespect me right now, that shit's fucking wild. And that's why I say, like, as a black man, it's a different experience too. Because no matter what you do, you know, you still a black man. No matter
Look what
what you do,
Stoic said.
some people will respect you, but
Stoic said he grew up in an Aboriginal neighborhood, and because he wasn't black, he got picked on and robbed.
mm,
But the thing was, we both was poor. Poor stealing from the poor.
yeah. And see that's what I'm saying. Even listening to Stoic experience, like you'll discount that. This man, you know, and he ain't grow up with no affinity of hate towards black people. But some people do because that experience is traumatic. And that should develop a behavior. Like if you
Mhm.
constantly, you know what I'm saying? That should develop
Mhm.
a behavior. And that should
Mhm.
behavior develop a belief. And that belief is what you thrive and run off of.
Yeah, because some areas it's like prison, like in prison where they have to choose to
Hmm.
be, they have to be with the Aryan brothers, they gotta be with the black brothers. Everybody's gotta divide, because that's
Yeah,
how you survive. That happens in certain neighborhoods too. It's like you have no choice but to stick with your people, because that's just the way things are. You don't want to fight, you don't want to do these things, but that's just the way it is.
now think about this. That's exactly what Mello was talking about. But on the sense of imagine that like you picking your race of people versus you picking a group of your own people to go against. I got to be with these people because if I don't, these people will beat me up. You know, so I got to be in numbers, and that's what happened with these games. You
You gotta
know,
choose which gang,
yeah, you got to choose which street, shit,
which street.
which block you represent. Like from
It's
this block is
crazy.
associated with this block and because I live on this block. I can't go against this block because now this whole majority of the people on this block say they with these people, but I got friends on the other side. So I mean, innocent people. A lot of times that shit happen too.
You can't even go like, yeah, like when me and my husband go visit, I'm not gonna say where, but I already know, and I told my husband because he's not up on the situation. I'm like, you can't wear that color. Like, we can't go down these streets. Like, I know the neighborhoods. You gotta know what you can and
Yeah,
can't wear and where you don't go.
yeah, yeah, you do.
That's sad, but it's the truth.
Especially in those zones, man. In those zones, 'cause they live by it. They live by that shit. That shit weird, man. That ain't what it is made for. It's made to
It's a
protect the people,
color.
not harass the people. Yeah,
It's a
but
color. It's a color in a crayon box.
this the thing though. The whole thing was created to protect the people. Now it's harassing the people. You know, people form these gangs so people in their neighborhood can walk up and down the street, and they were the people who protected. If other people from outside came, but that shit turned into harassing the fucking people. That's it. Wow. So let me get my butt off here. You gonna shut it
Good
down
night,
for me?
Nine. Yeah, I'll shut it down.
I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all was rocking the road. Man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. Dee 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 dee. Dee. Listen, that's my homie, man. That's my nine. All right, y'all. I'm out. I'm gonna let Commander
We're
shut
out.
it down.
Care about how you feel. These are the conversations. No, if we said anything that resonates, these are the conversations. I'm saying it wrong. I'm getting nervous because words here. These are the conversations that build nations. And if we said anything that resonates, tell somebody to tell somebody. I threw in the subscribe, like, join us, come back and join us. Chat, chat. Thank you for hanging out. And we out. Good night,
Yeah,
nines.
we out. Good night, man.
Do it for the 9.
What up, nines?
Acknowledge me!
They've been telling y'all love, and I came to tell y'all right. The way you feel influences the way you think, and the way you think dictates the actions you take.
You there, sitting at home, acknowledge me.
When I move, is it a quick rumble? I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.